this ain't what you want. I've been living at hotels for a month. I don't take any meetings after lunch. I've been spelling all my sneakers, I don't jump. Me and mine only tryna double up, yeah. Me and mine tryna build, come up front, yeah. Measure twice, cut once, what we on, yeah. Measure twice, cut once, what we on, yeah. I've been reading Proverbs on the walk, yeah. And I've been shutting down the stars, yeah. Cause when it rains and it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more, yeah. And I've been reading all the war, yeah. And I've been shutting down the stars, yeah. Cause when it rains and it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more, yeah. And I've been reading all the war, and here I go again. I hope y'all never ever get the chance to win. I'm Westbrook and I'm staring at the rim. Yeah. Does anybody really wanna jump with him? Yeah. I got agents who talk like friends. Yeah. I got friends only wanna talk business. I got expensive cause winning's expensive. I got expensive cause winning's expensive. I've been reading all the war, and I've been shutting down the stars. Yeah. Cause when it rains and it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more. Yeah. And I've been reading all the war, yeah. And I've been shutting down the stars. Yeah. Cause when it rains and it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more, yeah. And I've been reading all the war, and I've been shutting down the stars, yeah. Cause when it rains and it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more, yeah. And I've been reading all the war, yeah. And I've been shutting down the stars, yeah. Cause when it rains and it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more, yeah. And I've been reading all the war, yeah.
On the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit. Stayed down, remain humble and I made it work. Crazy how I came out so clean from the dirt. We was using candles on the nights the lights ain't work. We ain't never going back to that and that I merged. Turn your back on me, the worst mistake you ever make. Keep my grass cut, gotta watch out for the snakes. If it's on my plate, best believe it's getting ate. I'm ballin' like I'm Kobe, 33 before the 8. I just want the rings and the medals and the trophies. I want the Kardashians and Jenner to all know me. I wanna take a Uber to the hills to visit Chloe. I want the floor seats cause I'm tired of the nosebleeds. When the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit. I feel like I'm Scottie Pippen, putting on the work but they don't give me no recognition. Basically the league's MVP but the P is missing. I'm the most valuable but sometimes they tend to forget it. I live my life on the edge but my back against the wall. I make sure my shoes lace cause who gon' catch me if I fall against the odds, but I'ma beat them all. I used to have a lot of friends, I never thought my day one circle be this small, but who needs love if it's fake love? I'm tryna shine like the diamonds on Mike's glove. Get in my way and you gon' feel it just like Mike's glove. I'm tryna go from burnt rugs to the red rugs. That's facts. When the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit. Who gon' stop me now? I'm on the road, let me know. Who gon' stop me now? Who gon' stop me now? Who gon' stop me now? I'm on the road, let me know. Who gon' stop me now? Gang, gang. When the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit. When the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit.
should run for cover. Next time let the giants slumber. They wanna keep me down. No amount of your words get humble. That spirit never refused to crumble. Got the roaring line, reduce the mumbles. 2 a.m. on first. Imitate vultures how they lurk. 10 toes with it, I'm out of eye with you, boy. Challenge the best with your worst. This my turf. Way I move is inertia. Can't be stopped, it's unheard of. From the dirt, sweat got my feet muddy. Spin my wins, they might search you. On my word, path took plenty turns and broke my confidence in cursive. When submerged, I found resolve on my purpose and tell you about it back on surface. I survived. I survived. Ever been lost in the woods, praying that it don't get dark? Ooh. Ever been in a situation couldn't win, but you still had heart? Yeah, if you anything like me, evolve from chum to shark, the hunger starts to grow apart you didn't know you had. It's like that, flip the switch, turn it up, and I'm giving it gas. I lock it in all free, adrenaline double my percent. Made a home in the unknown, I swear I never fear again. I got ice in my blood, big enough to down this shit. I don't care how bad it get, I got 10 toes down, don't forget, I survived. I survived. When you on the brink and you in too deep, when you feeling weak, when it's hard to breathe, you gon' take a knee? Never. You gon' keep it G forever. Stand up and face whatever. I'm built unique, I'm better than the hard times I seen. Crime scene, obscene, face the ugly, cover up like Maybelline. Had uncertainty and urgency, cut from me like surgery. Formed again more sturdily, personally. I don't see nobody stopping me. I don't see nobody topping me. I don't see nobody honestly. I run you over if that's what it's gotta be. And it's gotta be what I look like, having fear still haunt me. What I look like, having regret taunt me. Pay that price, I don't care what it cost me. All my life been me against the army. I'ma push the red button on them like Atari. I'm big dog with a human like a Maltese. See more fall off than 03 tall tees. Not sorry for the way I am. Learn the ball and with no one holding your hand. Never back down, never hide in the sand. If you ain't hear the message, let me say it again. Yo, let me say it again. I survived. I survived. I survived. I survived. I survived.
Barely breathing, don't let go. Hear the whispers, listen close. I know you've never strayed from the fold, but that's how freedom begins. Bended knees and broken bones, a bleeding heart never bleeds alone. I am one of many cries. We are far from the ashes. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion, be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. Revolution. Burn your bridges, make your choice. Fight your demons, raise your voice. They're only silent if we're making noise. So let the battle begin. Bended knees and broken bones, a bleeding heart never bleeds alone. I am one of many cries. We are far from the ashes. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion, be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. Revolution.
System. All right, let's do this.
Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X 3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the Crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.
You were right, Kate. My sister is gone. There's only Jinx now.
I want to tear that laugh from her throat forever.
I'm ready.
To return peace to this city, you must declare martial law.
Topside is the real enemy. You have the chance to rally the Undercity together. You're a symbol. So what are you planning?
Watch it all burn.
You felt it, haven't you?
The arcane is waking up.
Sometimes taking a leap forward means leaving a few things behind.
This has to end. Then stop me.
Guys, welcome back to the second semi-finals of Crucial by Micron presents SKplz Community Clash powered by Zotac Gaming. We do have some titans in this matchup. It's going to be NTO versus Old Gods. It's me, Madness, alongside Kaka over here. And Kaka, this is going to be a hell of a match, and I can't wait to see who faces SOV in the grand finals, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think SOV looked really good yesterday, especially in game 2. I thought they could have won game 1 as well, but that was somewhat of a really unfortunate loss. But they did win game 3. It was pretty close, as it should be in a semi-final. And yeah, today I think Troll Gods versus Old Gods, if I'm not wrong. That's a very funny name for either side. Just have a look at event schedule right now. We do have our grand finals tomorrow, which will be a best of 5, and our last best of 3 of the tournament will be held today. Semi-final 2 between Troll Gods versus No Gods, and there you go. Registration obviously ended on 18th, 19th to 23rd. These are all best of 3 matches, single elimination matches. So again, whoever loses today will not have a second chance to come back into the tournament and to try to make it to the finals. Speaking of prize pools right now, the 3rd and 4th place get 5,000 INR each. 2nd place gets 15,000, 25,000 for the winner. And whoever loses today will at least get 5,000. But if they end up winning, then they lock in at least the 2nd place, which will be 15,000 INR prize pool, and they will be fighting for that 25,000 INR first place prize pool as well, Madness.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be a triple jump for them. Just looking at the schedule, right? This is the second semi-final of this tournament. As Kaka said, last BU3 between Troll Gods and Old Gods. It's a battle of the gods over here to see who will be victorious and who will be making that pay jump, right? From that 5k to that 15k at least, and aiming for the 25k in that grand final. This will be one good match. They did have a break. The last time Old Gods or NTO did play was day before yesterday in our quarterfinals that was off stream. So they did have a bit of a breather, so they can take some time off, come back, fresh minds. And we do have very familiar faces on the side of Old Gods, right? We do have Potato Monster over there. We have W. So they are, in the essence, Old Gods, right? They have been here for a long, long time. They have been in the scene. And last time Potato Monster's side was the came in second basically in the championship, where Phoenix Gaming did win overall. So they are looking for a bit of vengeance for themselves and to prove that without Phoenix Gaming in this, that they are the definite victors of this tournament over here, Kaka.
Yeah, 100%. Potato Monster has been the runner-up a couple of times in these tournaments. Even the 1 lakh rupee tournament that we had, July Open, his team did finish second, unfortunately, in the last tournament as well. That was a 50k iFlix YT Community Clash. Again, his team finished second. So he would be hoping to change that as soon as he can in tomorrow's grand finals, provided he makes it, right? So this is a very crucial match for him, at least, and he would want to change the narrative that he's been finishing second quite a lot in these tournaments. So I think that's something that he can look for. And it's a very funky logo for the OGs right there. It's a lot of Old Gods right there. Huh?
Yeah, that logo looking pretty good over there for OG. Yeah, head right into Champion Select. A couple of old faces, as you can see over there. We're going to start it off over here. We have Zuko in the top lane for Old Gods, Indica in the jungle, W in the mid lane, Potato Monster as always as the ADC, and they have Gracias as their support. So that's how Old Gods is looking. And then we have Troll Gods with Sekiro in the top, Lane Bun in the jungle, Simp in the mid lane, DJ in the ADC role, and Dronzer as the support. So the ban does come in for the Mordekaiser over there, and I think we have a bit of a glitch on what Troll Gods did for their first ban, so we don't actually get to see that until we actually head into the matchup maybe and see what it is. But the second ban that they did go for was that Lulu, that Enchanter is a bit annoying if you pair it up with some decent ADCs. That can cause a lot of havoc in the lane, and that provides a lot of protection for the ADCs towards that late game phase over there.
Yeah, for sure. And the Vex ban comes in, that seems like it is directed towards Simp in the mid lane. We don't have a lot of knowledge about NTO right now. We'll have to see this first match. to see what this team looks like, because they are pretty new to the scene right now. But from Old Gods, we are well accustomed to Zuko, W, Potato Monster, even Gracias for that matter, has played in quite a lot of these tournaments. The only new face that I can see right now is Indica, who has joined Old Gods. I think previously Azayan was playing jungle, or maybe it was someone else, I can't remember. But speaking of junglers right here, looks like the Nocturne is of the highest priority, and that's going to get logged in for the blue side right here. First pick coming in, and let's see now what Old Gods have to reply to that pick.
Yeah, to answer with, and the Jarvan does get banned out also by NTO over there, so they are aware without that Jarvan, maybe the Nocturne is what they prefer to pick over there. But it looks like W's Silas will be getting locked in over there. He does have a pretty mean Silas as well as a pretty mean Yone from what I do remember him playing. He had some excellent Yone also. I might have maybe seen him play that Yone. This does open the opportunity for more AD junglers on the side of Old Gods, and they will try. And then we have the favorite pick of Potato Monster, as that he says, that Tristana over there. You can't leave this Tristana unbanned against this man. He will definitely be looking to pick that up as he does over here. So that's his pick up, and he will probably be having a good engaged support for himself. So he will be having a good time in that bot lane. Usually when this Tristana gets banned or whatever, Potato Monster does opt for that Smolder, which has not always been ideal in his case. But on the other side, NTO have locked in the Xayah for themselves. So maybe a Rakan with it as well would be a good support pick over here, Carter.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Rakan should come in as well. Pretty surprising that Potato Monster has picked his Tristana, although maybe it shouldn't be, because the Kaisa was open, the Smolder was open. Those two have been his favorites. So now I am going to guess that NTO have banned the Kaisa in the first phase. Otherwise, I don't think he would have picked the Tristana over that champion. Speaking of draft, again, I like what I see from the side of NTO. Xayah Rakan, always a solid bot lane, paired up with the Nocturne. That's a really good wombo combo coming in for them. Xin Zhao gets logged in. I really like the Xin Zhao pick. I think Xin Zhao is sort of underrated right now. He has a lot of power when it comes to his Crescent Slash and, you know, just all these skirmishes. Xin Zhao can be a really broken champion in the early game, and you know, in our scene at least, we like to fight a lot in the early game, so I really like that pick coming in. And speaking of bans, Madness, the LeBlanc gets banned against the Silas. He doesn't want to play that matchup. And for the side of NTO, the Braum comes in, so I don't like that Braum ban too much. I would rather ban the Leona right here. At least they should ban it right now. Don't want to give the Leona. That does counter the Rakan as well. It's a solid bot lane with Tristana. So I think that they should ban the Leona right now.
Yeah, but instead they do ban that Shen out. So maybe questionable bans coming in. Maybe seeing the Leona or the Rel kind of ban in for them. That would be that's what you want to aim that Tristana within the bot side. On the side of Old Gods, after the LeBlanc ban, they got the Orianna ban. So Silas won't have to be facing that as well. They're leaving the top open. They're not targeting at all because they do have the opportunity to counter pick it as their last pick. So they are now going to be blind. No, yeah, they got that Leona. What should have been banned doesn't get banned, and it gets picked up by Old Gods. Absolutely using that opportunity for themselves, takes it completely, and it looks like an Amumu. That is maybe I think they're trolling us a bit. Yeah, they're just hovering it, just having a bit of fun with us. These guys do like to have that fun, and another bit of fun over there. And yeah, it does seem like maybe the Talia maybe for himself, so he does have that range on the Silas, and yeah, the Talia does get locked in. So now with the top lane as a blind pick, maybe a Renekton or an Ornn. And we're just getting news that NTO's first ban was actually the Aurora, so that Kai'Sa was open. So maybe questionable that the Kai'Sa was not picked up by Potato Monster's side, right? For himself, as you said, way better than Tristana in the current meta, how it goes out.
Maybe he's just taken it to his ego right there, thinking, why have they not banned my Tristana? I'm just gonna pick it up and smash these fools. But the Darius blind pick, I am not too sure about that, buddy. Zuko does play a lot of top lane champions. I would like to see a Renekton come in. There you go. He is hovering that champion. Wouldn't mind if that gets locked in, and then you can just keep on camping this Darius in the top lane. I would like to touch on the Talia, though. I think it's a good matchup into the Sylas. You can obviously deny a lot of dashes from the enemy team, but the Gwen comes in, and I am not too sure. I mean, Gwen will outscale the Darius eventually, but something like a Renekton gives a lot of priority, a lot of it opens a lot of doors for the Xin Zhao as well to play around that champion early in the top lane. I would have preferred the Renekton. Zuko does play a very mean Renekton, but the Gwen gets locked in, and yeah, we have our drafts, and I like what NTO have gotten for themselves, bar that Darius pick in the top lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, maybe that Renekton, they would have a bit more of a front line with that Leona. They could have allowed for much more creative plays for Old Gods. That Tristana would have been completely safe. But yeah, NTO's lineup is looking pretty good over there. They do have a bunch of wombo combos that they can go for with the Rakan, Zaya, and Nocturne, as you did mention. This Talia will be preventing a lot of dashes into him. And this Sylas does have a couple of ults he would maybe like to steal, maybe to get out of certain fight scenarios. Maybe the Talia wall to just run away, or the Zaya ultimate just to distance himself in those fights. But nothing really special for him to actually go for with his ultimate. So they have pretty much neutralized him in that ult department overall, I would say, from how it has been laid out. But all in all, which side would you be preferring over here, Kaka?
I mean, I have to go with NTO right here. If they had picked Renekton on the side of Old Gods, I would have favored them heavily. But the Gwen into Darius, I'm not too sure about that, at least in the early game. If this game does go late, then I think they have, the Old Gods do have the means to win the game. But for now, I think I'm going to side with NTO. But then again, it comes down to the gameplay of both these teams and how they navigate it. And I agree with you, Sylas does not have a lot of great ultimates to steal in this game. The only good one I can think of is the Nocturne ultimate, maybe the Darius ultimate as well in the team fights, but that is, execute damage, so you do have to do a lot of work to make use of that ultimate properly. But Sylas, I think he is a pretty strong champ regardless, so I don't think it should be a big problem. I think the junglers kind of will decide this game and how it goes. Indica and Lane Burn on the Xin Zhao and Nocturne respectively, and I think that's going to be the defining factor for me in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna come down to the junglers and the early aggression that our region just seems to love and cannot stop with. Xin Zhao does have a pretty mean early game, so he will be looking to maybe camp the top bit, especially with this Gwen now being picked up over him, because the Gwen will scale, but he will have a bit of a tough time otherwise in that laning phase for himself. On the bot side, this Tristana will be pretty safe with the Leona as her backup. The Zaya Rakan combo has always been one of the favorites of these bot lane kind of picks, so interesting to see what goes on over there. The Nocturne will be obviously targeting this Tristana in these fights, will be going on her. Maybe after she uses her W, just ults and just latches onto her with nothing to be protecting her. That's all that can be said and done. But at the end of the day, it's all theory, it's all paper, it's all about what's going to actually happen in the game and how they play out these comms, right? The reason they take these comms is because they want to play it a certain way, and it's not the way that we can predict, because we don't know what's going on in their minds. The aggression that is filled in there cannot be predicted at all. They will go for fights that have a very high opportunity cost, but they will still go for it at the end of the day, because they just see something and they just always go for it. And I want to see maybe some more priority towards these grubs for later on, for the Tristana to just nail away at these turrets.
For sure, yeah. I mean, the grubs priority should be the main thing for both the teams. Tristana can burn those turrets down very, very easily. If you get her 3 grubs, then she's going to destroy turrets. If you get 6, then those turrets are just gone, right? And Tristana can be a bit snowbally. She has gotten some buffs as well in the recent patches towards that AD carry role and not particularly mid lane. So I think it is a strong pick, and again, it's a favorite for Potato Monster. And I like the bot lane matchup coming in for the side of Old Gods as well. The Leona can lock down the Rakan, can bait out the Zaya ultimate as well in team fights and in lane by using her own ultimate. So I think that's one of the matchups that we should keep a close eye on as well, because we will see a lot of action down in the bottom lane. I think action is going to be all around anyway, except for Nocturne maybe, who would like to farm to get to that level 6 pretty soon. But whenever a Darius pops up in the Rift, you are expecting a lot of early pressure from his side.
Yeah, absolutely. If that Darius does get that snowball on, it is pretty much hard to stop. We've seen it in time games in these kind of tournaments, what does go on. And look at this. NTO have all just gathered in this bush outside their own red buff, just predicting maybe some member of OG might be coming up to put a deep ward or something like that, or maybe just go for late invade altogether. They are pretty spread out across the map. The Gwen is not close by, she's far, and the Leona has come up to be putting this ward. The Darius is walking towards his own lane because he does not have a TP or anything. He doesn't want to miss out on the lane where he can bully. But look at this, Ninja just walks in over here, has to immediately flash away. So this play of NTO does result in a burned Zinja flash at the end of the day, and he won't have that for his future ganks for the next 5 minutes over here, Kaka.
Yeah, for sure. But I think you're safe till the 328 mark anyway, so that's going to be like 2.5 minutes of the flash timer running down. But yeah, I mean, they did stack up there. Getting any advantage in these sort of games can be beneficial, right? So it will stop a lot of what Zinjao has to do in the early game. At least he won't be able to flash follow up on the kills if there are any kills to be had. We do see some trade going on in the mid lane. Simp1 getting chunked down for like 1/3 of his HP bar, but the Silas can be really strong at level 1 with E, and yeah, just procs the Thunder Electrocute right there, and yeah, looking pretty good for them.
Yeah, and Zuko is also facing the worst of those trades in the top lane, as we did expect. Bronzer did walk in, did face check that Leona in the bush, so does get a bit chunked also for his damage. But the mid lane is where it's up. That really already being forced to burn a pot, as well as the Silas. He is also potting up. He has got one pot also to his name as well right now. Potato Monster is being currently sieged underneath his tower. He is being forced under there to be CSing pretty much underneath that as well as he can. He is going to be behind on CS because of the turret shots towards the minion and because of how Tristana actually does work with that AoE damage around some of his abilities. At the same time, you can see the junglers are both hovering towards that top side as well. Dronzer goes in on Leona, chunks him down as well with his Zaya close by. But yeah, both these junglers are prioritizing that top side for later on fights. Zuko is level 3. Sorry, Sekiro is level 3 while Zuko is level 2, and he does get chunked down pretty bad. Already has 3 bleed stacks on him, so he's going to take even more damage. So this is definitely not looking fun for the Gwen. He is completely pushed in over here, so the Xinjiao might be looking for future engages right now as soon as he clears his Groms over there in the top side.
Yeah, for sure. But
Groms,
Zuko has to watch out. Krugs right there, yeah. But Zuko has to watch out and not get too low, because the Darius with the flash and ghost can 1v2 if you get too low. Get the reset on one of the kills and then just stack up all those 5 bleed marks on the other champion. But Xinjiao, being the smart guy that he is, not going to look towards that front side, is going to actually run towards the bot side, scuttle crab, and maybe look towards this bot lane instead, which I think is the smarter move. You don't want to 2v2 against the Nocturne and Darius in the early game. Although Nocturne does need level 6 to be relevant, to enable him to gank at least, but for as a counter ganker, Nocturne is quite alright with the fear coming in at level 3. So I think Nocturne is strong at early levels as well. But in the bot lane, we do see a fight coming in. Xinjiao is going to pop up, uses the crescent slash and dash onto the Rakan, knocks up the Zaya. Not much to be done there. Gets chunked for a bit, but I think he's going to go and reset and pick up that pickaxe as soon as he does anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And again, the Darius just bullying this Gwen a bit too much over there. In the meantime, in the mid lane, W going a bit very aggressive on to Simp as well, chunking him down pretty much. And in the bot lane, even after that gang, no summoners were burned, and Nocturne is here close by, but he's walking in complete vision of the opponent team. He does not mind that at all. Leona is basically 1 HP, but the flash forward from the Nocturne with the Q, very questionable. Maybe he thought the Leona was lower than she actually was over there. Does miss out on the kill, so that's a flashless Nocturne right now, and he is still level 4, not level 6, so he will be looking to farm up to hit that level 6 for any future ganks as well. And this Xinjiao might be looking for the drag or the grubs, while this Nocturne is pretty behind right now, even on camps.
Yeah, one cam behind. Yeah, I really thought. I mean, I didn't think the Leona was going to die with the flash Q right there, but Lane Bun thought the better of it. Unfortunately, could not get the first blood for himself and ends up burning his flash as well. But Gracias had to burn his flash as well to get out of that gang. So again, that opens up opportunities to come again, return the favor for the side of bot lane. Bronzer does have his flash up, can always, grand entrance and knock up. But in the mid lane, Silas is going to go and dash out. Flash W comes out from the side of Rakan, but the Silas has turned level 6, uses his ultimate, secures the first blood onto the Nocturne. The Talia had to burn her flash as well. So a lot of flashes burned in the mid lane. Oh my god, this Rakan just survived by the skin of his teeth right there. And yeah, I mean, a pretty great encounter in the mid lane skirmish, and it ends up in a 1-for-0 for the side of OGs.
Yeah, definitely, and because they did have a bit of inkling that the Rakan and all will be coming from the bot side of the river, right? He will be coming into that fight, but you saw the hover from the jungler of OG that side, and this Rakan is flashless. This Zaya was without his flash after the change. The cleanse also does go down. The Zinja also goes down, trying to take the grubs in the top side. So this is NTO answering back over here for that earlier kill. That Laneburn did go down. Silas gets that kill, but now Laneburn with that gank onto the Zinja while doing the grubs gives the Darius even more of a lead in the top side. He already has his Sheen, so after his abilities, will be doing the extra damage to Zuko as well. So very tough time for this Gwen, absolutely, but he is keeping pretty even Stevens in his CS. The Zinja is maybe looking for that dragon right now, so he will be going for that. Yeah, and that's just how it sometimes goes, right? This is how it goes. The Zinjao has already started the dragon. He also has 2 grubs. Before he did go down over there, they only managed to get the last grub for the side of NTO. So with 2 grubs, with this first Drake as well. So good work on the jungle objectives, even though Zinjao did end up paying with his life for those grubs.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they do deny this almost 6 grubs take as well. So the best they can get on the side of OGs is 5 now. Not too much to separate these two sides as it stands. 1-1 on kills, 11.8k gold for both the sides. And it's pretty even Stevens, as you said right there. But the Nocturne is going to has hit actually level 6. Does get spotted actually. The really deep pink ward coming in from the side of OGs is going to spot the Nocturne. So the bot lane of OGs have to play just a bit safe till the Nocturne ultimates gets run down in some other lane, and that's exactly what they are going to do. Great reset timing coming in for them. Hextech Dragon was picked up. I think that's a bug in the UI actually, so I'm not too sure which dragon was picked up for the side of OGs. It was Hextech, so they get that dragon for themselves. And yeah, I mean, looking pretty even as of now. Not a lot of action happening, which we are quite accustomed to in the Indian tournaments at least.
Yeah, this is a nice change of pace right over here, right? That you do have a bit of a slower type of gameplay, not that many kills. It's already 9 minutes and only 2 kills. We think that is slow in this region. That's just how it is. It does go like that. But yeah, the Nocturne does get spotted. That's an excellent deep control pink ward over there, right? That just gets him spotted out. It doesn't even go down as well, so they'll get even future more info off of that. Sekiro with the pull onto Zuko, both bone platings getting burned from either sides, and just continuous slow-paced gaming going on in the middle lane. A bit of a CS advantage for Sim. He is around 12 CS up. He is the one there with the CS advantage, but in the jungle, a 10 CS difference in the favor of Zinjao, and the top side, the CS difference is for Sekiro. But now he is getting ganked over here. He has
Yeah,
to
but the
flash
Nocturne is
away.
here
His
as
ghost is
well,
not up.
actually.
Nocturne does go in, but I don't think you can do much over it. They just want to go for the disengage, but no, instead they just continue fighting. And that's a kill on the Xinjiao. It looks like the Gwen will be going down with the bleed in the end of it as well. He's just about to... No, he does go down at the end of it. The bleed last stick gets the life of the Gwen, and W has just TP'd in here for no reason, just a bit too late to the fight at the end of the day, and an excellent counter engaged from NTO side.
Yeah, 100%. Really well played from the side of NTO. Using that paranoia to get up towards that top side of the map, kill the Gwen, kill the Xinjiao again, who is 0-2 right now and has fallen quite behind. And the kill goes to the Darius, right? He is 2-0 and 150 gold shutdown bounty. The Phage has been completed. The Merc Treads have been completed. So he is a happy camper in the top lane, and he's going to love how this game has gone so far for him. Meanwhile, Gwen is going to catch that mid wave since the Silas picked up the top wave. And yeah, now we do have some sort of a gold lead for the side of NTO, 1000 gold ahead. Doing really well in CS numbers as well so far, and they are setting themselves up, and it's very crucial, right? The Nocturne ultimate, the first ultimate, just like the TF ultimate, if you don't make something happen, then you fall behind automatically. So first ultimate gets a kill, gets an assist, so he's gonna be pretty happy with how that went.
Yeah, and he prevents his Darius from able to hold that thought. Rakan's gonna get caught out over here before anybody else can actually come to the fight from the side of NTO. The Nocturne ult is stolen by Silas, but he will probably end up going down in the fight as well as the Darius going down. Nocturne is looking to fall as well. It's a triple kill for the Xinjiao. He is looking for maybe his quadra, but just getting spaced away from the Thalia simp over there. So a triple kill coming in for Indica at the end of the day, and he will also be picking up the rest 3 grubs as well, giving his team all 5 grubs, only 1 grubs going over to NTO. And also with that, Rakan just getting a bit too overzealous over there, getting caught out before his members could come up for the team fight, so he couldn't provide that much utility in the fight. But the fights do not stop, and exhaust onto Indica over here is all that does get burned, as well as his flash getting burned prevents him from getting another 2 grubs over there. So that's a good stoppage from the side of NTO, and you see the Darius and Nocturne are already here to claim those 2 grubs for themselves. So they will be getting the 4 grubs instead of OG.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get a replay of that team fight actually really quickly. Because the Darius did not have his ultimate, the Nocturne did not have his ultimate. So the engage from the Rakan, again, as you said, overzealous, was not needed. They didn't need to fight. Paranoia going to come in on the side of Silas in picture right there. He's going to be fine. But just looking at this fight, right, the Darius does not have ultimate. The Nocturne doesn't as well. Actually gets knocked out by the Xinjiao. So the fear does not come in as well. And the Xin picks up the shutdown bounty onto the Darius, finishes off the Nocturne as well right there, and the Rakan. And that's a triple kill. And we were just speaking about him that he was falling a bit behind, was 0-2. Now he is 3-2, has the Sundered Sky completed, has the plated steel caps completed, has picked up 2 grubs for himself, is going to pick up that second dragon as well that is being started right now. So Indica doing a lot of work in this early game so far, and the goal lead now has shrunken down to a mere 500-300 gold. And
but
again, we are in
Dragon is
even state right now.
Dragon is getting challenged quite a bit, but no, NTO just thinking a bit better of it. Just give it up. The Mountain Drake does go in the hands of the red side. Look at this, Rons are having to jump to the safety of his Zaya before Potato Monster does, then finishing him over there. So just all in all, as you said, that Xinjiao over there, but what was very important in that fight was Gracias' ult, right? That Leona ult did get 2 stuns off at the same time, allowing Xinjiao to get a lot of free hits as well. But the important part is here that OG do have 2 dragons to their name, so they're already halfway towards that soul that they do want.
Yeah.
They already have a Hextech, they already have a Mounted, and the top side, these fights do not stop. Zuko does channel his ultimate onto Sekiro, but that heal from that Q is just ridiculous. Honest to God, this Darius just heals up so much. Anything Zuko does dish out, he will just heal off it with his Q as well. In the meantime, in the mid lane, a bit of a CS difference in the favor of Talia, right? She's around 23 CS up right now. So she's having the time of her life. She's enjoying it quite well, and this Silas is being pressured. So this Talia was picked after the Silas, so it is working out in their favor of how they wanted to play out this match. And please ignore the UI, guys. That is not an ocean that their team has. Only 2 Drakes have been picked up. But in the meantime, Zuko is just getting dived under his turret. An excellent Nautilus ult as well. Leona goes in on the Rakan over here, but I don't see much coming off it. The jungler Indica is there towards the top side to hover his own turret there as well. But this TP is coming in over here from the Talia, but does get stopped by. Yeah, it does get cancelled by the Silas. And this is a battle of the junglers in the top side, and that was a very extended queue from the Xinjiao Indica, just getting that last hit on Nocturne after he flashes away. So flash gone, his life gone, everything gone for that Nocturne in the top side over there.
But the TP is coming in from the side of Zuko now, so he is going to try to get the kill for himself. The Xayah knows she is dead. Not sure why you burned the ultimate as well. Actually, he might be able to get out. Nah, Zuko has Ghost. He is going to chase the Xayah out. And yeah, I think Xayah would have just, should have just stood there and died, but instead he burns his ultimate, the flash, the cleanse, everything, and still ends up dying by this TP from Zuko. The Talia TP, though, but really, not paying attention to where the Silas was and gets cancelled right there. And a lot of good work done in the top side of the map by Sekiro and Lane Burn. Ultimately, they all get punished. The Lane Burn ends up dying to the Xinjiao as well in the top side of the map. And in the bottom side, Potato Monster and Gracias holding their own in the 2v3, 2v2 skirmish that happened in the bot lane. And yeah, they come out better of it, right?
Yeah.
So again, we are like pretty even right here. I do not like the first item that's come out from the side of Silas. Those Storm Surge has been nerfed on the current patch. I would have liked to see the Proto Belt and the Cosmic Drive come in for him. That makes Silas much more potent in these team fights. So yeah, let's keep an eye on that and how he performs in the team fights as well.
Yeah, and look at this. Potato Monster has switched lane with Zuko, right? Zuko has gone in the bot side. They have switched it up probably for this rift that is this is right there for the taking for themselves. And honestly, what a good turnaround from Indica, from being 0-2 to 4-2 up. An excellent work chasing down the Nocturne in the top side. After the Nocturne and Darius did jump that Gwen underneath her turret, she's not having the best of time. She is just hanging in there, but she's going to get some free CS off this bot side, hopefully without that much pressure. The Xayah is looking to poke her down, but look at those Voidlings also being spawned because the 4 grubs in the favor of NTO right now. Ping's going on the Dragon. Dragon is 1 minute away right now. They want to maybe clear out that pink ward that OG has right now in that Dragon pit. So if they don't clear that out, that vision will be there permanent. They won't be that worried. But that's as we talk about that the Rakan is there to clear that vision. The Silas instead has gone to the top side right now, and he's facing the Darius. Maybe not the best of engages for him. He's fallen by pretty behind. But at the same time, Rakan's going to get caught out here trying to get that ping. The TP is coming in from the Silas as well. He does complete the TP, and this is just not looking good for NTO at all. The Rakan will be going down, the Talia will be going down. That's a double kill for the mid laner of OG, and it looks like Lane Bun on the other side of the Dragon Pit will also be going down. So 3 kills for naught for OG's side, and that's with the Dragon being spawned as well. That'll be their 3rd Drake of the game, and they'll be 1 step closer towards that Cloud Soul, Kaka.
Yeah, for sure, and a huge team fight breaking out right there. 3-0 for the side of OGs, but they do end up losing the tier 2 turret in the top lane. So some sort of answer coming in from the side of NTO right there, some sort of trade coming in, but it's not a lot, right? Losing 3 kills and the Dragon and potentially the bottom turret as well. It is going to cost them. And now this Darius, who is so fed, has the Sterak's gauge completed, actually just went back and bought that item, completed it in an instant. He needs to join these team fights right about now, because if he doesn't, then his team is going to fall further behind. Already down 3 Drakes right here. Potato Monster doing pretty well on the Tristana as well. Deathless so far. 1, 0, and 2. And Gracias as well. I thought he misplayed in that, but I really thought he should have just ulted the Rakan right away. But they made it work, and the Silas comes in, swoops in for the double kill for himself as well. And OG is looking strong in this game one so far. But again, in terms of gold, it's still even.
Yeah, it is pretty still even in terms of gold. You aren't wrong. Where it's not even is in Drakes. 3 Drakes for OG, 0 for NTO. They are struggling in the Drakes department. They do have 4 voids grubs for themselves. That's the only thing that's working in their favor in jungle objective sides. But most of this gold on the side of NTO has been funneled onto the Darius, right? He is pretty strong right now. If he is here for those team fights, they will be going in a different direction, hopefully. So that is what is working on. The Gwen is slowly is scaling up as well. Potato Monster already has a bounty on his head of 150 Gs as well as a Xin Zhao of 200 Gs. So this is what is looking like. Gracias is going to be going around with his jungler, doing what he can. The Silas has come to the bot side, but is being again matched by the Darius. So he's going to have a tough time laning against him right now. But the pings are going out from the side of the blue side onto the Baron, maybe to get some more vision. They do have a pink ward right there currently, so I don't think that's much of a issue for them. Jinja will probably come in here and clear all those wards up for himself. Natalia is trying to be a nuisance over here, but sees that Leona just backs out of there completely, uses the cloud map to his full potential. And all in all, it has slowed down once again over here. W is being forced under his turret. Good CSing from him, and we have a disconnection of the Rakan, but I think he will be back very shortly into the game. Yeah, he is. He is moving around. So that is how it has slowed down. Both the bot laners are now in the mid lane. They are having fun over there. And dive into the Xayah, instantly burning the cleanse, but at the same time, in the bot side, W does put chains, but onto a minion instead. He does go golden at just the right moment, but he will get ulted as soon as he moves out from his stasis. And that's a very dead Silas, and Darius picking up his 4th kill of the game over there, Kaka.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure why the Silas is trying to answer the Darius when the Gwen has the TP up for herself. Has that Riftmaker completed as well. In the top lane, though, Talia is going to burn her flash, but gets the knockback. Indica uses his dash to get close to the Talia, but at the end of the day, Talia burns a flash and gets out. But yeah, in the bottom lane, the stasis being burned out as well for the Silas. The CS numbers, you don't want to look at that, right? 129 CS in 22 minutes is abysmal. It's pretty bad. So he is struggling, and this was Silas' first rotation coming in blind. So they have put a lot of priority on the Silas pick, and so far it has worked out in terms of team fights, but everything else not so much. In the mid lane, though, Rakan is going to charm the Tristana, who gets out, but the paranoia comes in. The Tristana flashes out of a sticky situation and manages to live. Indica going to pick up his 6th and 6th kill, 5th and 6th kill right there. Gets a double kill.
Probably the
Maybe
7th
a triple
and this
kill
the 7th.
yet again. And this was a fight that was started by the side of NTO, and they have lost it for nothing, 4 for nothing. And the Baron is going to get picked up as well unless the Darius tries to come in. But Sekiro, man, this guy really needs to join the team because they are struggling, right? You look at the scores.
Yeah, absolutely.
1, 2, and 0 for the Talia, so 1 kill participation. 0, 2, 0 for the Xayah, no kill participation at all. And 0, 4, 1 for the Rakan. So all 3 of these guys are struggling so hard. Even the Nocturne does have a lot of kill participation, but has 5 deaths to his name. So, except for Sekiro, the 4 of them are really struggling in this game.
Yeah, but the Sekiro has like 100% kill participation, though. Even though that just shows you, if he's in here for these fights, that does secure even more kills. He's not here. That's where NTO is struggling absolutely over there. The Nocturne goes in super deep for that Tristana underneath the turret. Tristana flashes away. Nocturne flashes after her, but just cannot catch her. There is just too much backup for her underneath that turret, and Nocturne goes down. It leaves his Rakan to down the side. That's another triple kill of the same game for Indica. 2 triple kills in one game. Out of his 7 kills, 6 of them have come into those double triple kills, and only 1 on a separate occasion. This dragon will be forming, and remind you, they are on Soul Point for the side of
Exactly.
OGs. So this is going to be a huge fight going to be breaking out over here, Kaka.
But I do not like this fight for NTO yet again because the Darius does not have his summoner spells up. The charm comes in from the side of Rakan. The Silas is going to die instantly right there. Had the Zonias available to him but does not use it. And it's a very messy team fight. The Darius is going to end up going down. Indica picks up one more kill for himself. 3-man root coming in from the side of Zaya actually. And this fight, somehow NTO has managed to win this. That was beautifully played from the side of Jita right there. And that's going to be a 4-for-3 trade coming in. The Dragon will be denied from the OG, so they will have to wait 5 more minutes. Zuko might end up going down actually right here. It just needs to be careful.
Just
oh my God,
about.
barely survives.
Yeah, just barely survives. But in that fight, nobody could touch this Zaya, right? She's just free hitting from behind. An excellent 3-man root by her as well towards the end of that fight. It was the engage of NTO, and this time it did work out for them. The Darius, as you said, did not have any sums for that fight, but he did prove vital in the face that he was the tank in the middle who was doing a bunch of damage, was having fun with it, was doing what he needed to actually do. And this is what changes the entire scenario of the face of the fights when the Darius is here for it, right? He can do so much more in these fights that allows his team to actually free hit from behind, because you're all focused on this Darius. We just instantly get all these bleeds stacked and go for those kills, and that just leaves a Zaya as an unnoticed option who just can keep on hitting also as well. And this fight was essential because this was the Cloud Soul for OGs. If they pick it up, they prevent it, they get the Drake for themselves, and this is delaying the Cloud Soul even more for the side of OGs.
Yeah, and if we can get a replay of that fight, you will see the Silas ended up dying so early, had the Zonias available as well, but just could not make use of it. And when those items look really bad, the CS number as well, this guy just wants to fight, but it's not serving him quite well as well. So he is struggling to find his place in this game 1 right now. W on the Silas. Meanwhile, Sakiro looking so solid in the top lane. I think that's where NTO needs to put all their eggs in. And in the top side, again, the charm is going to come in. The grand exit from the Rakan. The paranoia comes in from the side of Nocturne. Let's see if he decides to go in. That's a 5-man unit for the OG. So yeah, he's going to think better of it, and they will get the mid turret instead. Zaya might end up dying right there.
Zaya does go down, the Nocturne does go down as well. Had early on used, had his ultimate in the top side for that disengage, but just before that, guys, let's head back into this Cloud fight over here. You can just see, as Kaka said, Silas does get caught out with the Rakan ultimate into this knock-up over there, just completely
eliminated. We have another fight going on in the
well.
picture-in-picture actually as well.
The fights do not stop.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's the Indian scene for you. We can't watch a replay without a picture-in-picture fight going on, and somehow in the picture-in-picture, a 4-for-1 trade coming out for the side of OGs right there. And as we finish up this fight right here, as you could see, the Silas really could not do much. Even now, he has ended up dying, but I think this is going to be the tier 3 mid turret for the side of OGs. The Darius has burned his close for some reason, but Adamosa can always ult him out. There you go. The buster shot comes in and he says bye-bye and runs off. Is going to actually pick up the wave and then recall. Has 3 items completed for himself. And 3,000 gold advantage for the side of OGs.
Yeah, absolutely, and the exhaust will also being used on Darius over there just in case, a safety measure. But yeah, this Silas was picked pretty early on in the draft for the side of OGs, and it has absolutely not paid out the way they have wanted to. Especially that he doesn't, especially because there was just not much ultimates he can steal as well. The only ultimates I have seen this man stealing in fights are the Nocturne ults, and they have not been paying off the way that he has hoped for them to. Indica is pretty strong right now. He's 10-3-6. This man has been doing all of the fighting as well as Potato Monster for the side of Old Gods. And honestly, Sekiro needs to step up with the lead that he had. he has to go for more in this scenario. He is going for the side lane split push. He doesn't have TP to go into fights, especially with this dragon also coming out pretty soon. He is looking to maybe get the back in or head down to the bot side. Baron will also be spawning pretty much in the next 2 seconds. So there are two objectives to fight over, and this is where the macro gameplay from both teams comes out, Kaka.
Yeah, for sure. And as you said, like we have to sing Indica's praises right here. 16 KP out of 21, 3 items completed is going to make that Sterox gauge as well. So he is going to be really beefy in the team fights, and a lot of threat into the backline as well, because the Talia and Zaya are not the tankiest champions, right? They are pretty squishy, but look at this pinks coming on from the side of NTO, and they are going to well, at least they were thinking of starting this Baron, but there's a huge a level lead coming out for Indica. He's 3 levels ahead of lane 1, and we are going to an ARAM territory right here. Let's see what happens. I'm pretty sure there's a big fight going to happen here. Zuko has the TP, so he can split up towards that top side of the map. Has completed 3 items as well, so he is pretty strong when it comes to the team fights. But the Darius has to stick, right, because he does not have the TP available for him. And the wave state for the side of NTO is not great as well. The bot is shoving in, so they are losing a lot of farm just by spending so much time towards this bot side of the map. Sekiro just running like a madman.
The madman with an axe just chasing all the members of OGs, just zoning them so far away. But now look at this, the Gwen has reached the tier 3 in the top side. Tilia has tried to go to match, but this leaves the dragon completely open for the taking for Old Gods, and they will be securing the 4th dragon for themselves. They will be having the Cloud Soul on them, so even more movement speed to match this Darius, who is chasing honestly like a madman with an axe with murder on his mind. And they are heading straight towards that Baron side. Look at the members of NTO. They are pretty spread. They are now starting to try and group up here. The Gwen does have TP to come back in the fight, so is recalling to probably get some items as well for herself, or get some mana in her own pocket for this fight. And this has just completely baited NTO completely towards this Baron side. They think that the Baron had already been started by the members of Old Gods, but no, it was just a bait as well. It has dragged everybody towards this top side.
And I think at this point, NTO should just start this Baron and hope for a 50-50, because I don't think they will be winning this match if they just, turtle up and try to farm their way out. I don't think that's going to happen. The Tristana is 1 item ahead, 1.5 items ahead, actually. The Xin Zhao is 1.5 items ahead. The Gwen is scaling so hard. The Leona is very tanky. So I think this is the best spot for them, which is right now, to try to get a fight and flip it, because if they don't, they are slowly and eventually going to lose this game.
Yeah, absolutely. The Silas is still pretty far behind, right? Only 157 CS at 32 minutes. A bit of abysmal numbers coming from that, but he was pretty much bullied any lane he went. If he leaves Italia, he's being met by the Darius when he was going on the side lane, so he did have a very tough time. But as you said, I would have maybe liked to see a 50-50 fight towards that Baron. That was maybe their best opportunity to go for it. Maybe get some footing in this match for themselves. The goal lead is around 4.5k in the favor of Old Gods. So they're enjoying a pretty good goal lead. The Gwen is now becoming a huge factor in some of these team fights if she does go for them, because she does have that scale. She is pretty much scaled up right now. 3 items in, has the Zonias, has the Roofmaker, has the Nashor's Tooth. And for the side of NTO, they're just clearing wards and just biding their time instead of making or pressurizing for any plays. They are playing complete defense, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah, and that's the best they can do, right? Because the Darius does not have teleport. He cannot be the one to try to match the Gwen towards that bot side of the map. So the Talia has to do it, but the Talia cannot really 1v1 the Gwen as well. Who is going to get his death cap completed pretty soon, it looks like. Is pretty close to it. Zuko on this Gwen has actually scaled up, and we talked about it in the Champ Select. The early game was going to matter quite a lot, but Indica made sure that Old Gods were going to win that. And now towards the late game, the Gwen deals so much damage with her Q coming in as well. True damage on her kit. So I think the team fights just look pretty rough unless this Darius can somehow get a reset or two. And yeah, I mean, a lull state going on so far. I'm not too sure why. I think the side of OGs should try to start this Baron and get the team fight, because they are pretty strong right now. Just look at the item advantages that they have currently.
Yeah, absolutely. It is looking huge for them. The Darius again running like a madman into the tri-bush almost at the same time. He is preventing any more wards being put down, preventing his own ward from as well going down. The Dahlia is the one who's managing all these waves in the mid side, because she does have the TP for that fight if she wants to. And it looks like a fight will be probably breaking out
The
of it.
TP is coming in as well
Trigger
from the
his
side of
ultimate,
BM
but he will be going down at the same time. Potato Monster gets the reset on his W, does get out of that fight. This lane burn just going down with his ultimate, and it looks like we have a pretty much dead Talia as well, who TP'd in for this fight, and that is a complete wipe, as almost only the Zaya is alive and she has nobody to rely on. She's just gonna have to base and give up this Baron for the side of old gods, and this is just not at all what they wanted. Rakan just going in too early over there, had almost no backup in that fight, was dead before even the Nocturne made it in, right? He did just run away, but just the burst from the Tristana does get him down, makes him hit that grey screen. They get the Baron, they get the inhibitor, and they maybe are bringing for that Elder Drake later. So they just want to end this off as passive as they can, even though they have a huge advantage. They are playing it safe, but honestly, I don't think they need the Elder. I think they can definitely end it just before that. They have the Baron, they can just continue pushing all these waves that were anyway pushing.
Yeah. 100%. I don't think they even needed the Baron. If they all just ran towards the mid side, I think they could have ended this game pretty easily right there. But they are going to play the safe way, pick up the Baron. The Dragon is going to come in 1 minute as well. So maybe they turn their attention towards the Baron. The Dragon. But yeah, that's how the team fights are going to look, right? If you press tab, you look at the Tristana items, 5 items completed. She is fully stacked right now. 7, 1, and 8, 300 gold bounty for him. Did Indica just sell his tunneler and all those items to complete a GA? I think that's going to work, but I don't think that was necessary right there. I think that's a net loss for him. But he is.
But I think he's just thinking about the next fight, right? I think he just thinks the next fight will be the last one. Goes completely ham for it. If that is what it is a smart buy. If it doesn't end up being that, it's dumb. But this is the GA's job coming in on the Rakan. The Rakan will be going down once again as the first member of NTO in these fights. The Nocturne ultimate is just triggered by the stolen from the Silas. It does trigger. It is a bit of a disengage, but this leaves the Elder caught from them. And look at the Darius, he's on the opposite side of the map, right? He's trying to run away as fast as he can, as quickly. He's getting completely chased, and this will be a dead Talia as well. Silas getting some revenge for that laning phase. Sekiro, my man, where are you running? You're trying to go for the execute, but that would pretty much leave your base completely open, and you won't even be getting that execute. Potato Monster completely chasing him down, does not let him go anywhere. I think that is complete game for the side of the old gods. The Rakan as once again just dying in this fight. He's already respawned and coming back into it, but I just don't see anywhere that NTO can go. The Elder Dragon already been taken by OG. The side is going golden, probably will go down after this, but gets that heal right off the Rakan, goes once again onto him, and that is all members out. That is an ace for the side of Old Gods, and Old Gods will be your victors in Game 1 of Semifinals 2 between Old Gods and NTO, and what a way to finish it off when you're chasing the Fed Darius into your own base.
Yeah, for sure. And this was not close after Indica found that triple kill towards that top side of the map and then just ran this game. And Potato Monster just again being so reliable, always getting those farm numbers up, always keeping his KDA intact, playing really well in the team fights as well. So he's quite reliable as well. But props to Indica. He took the game by the scruff of its neck right there, and it was pretty easy for him. And well done from the side of Old Gods right there. I think Sekiro should have gave up a lot of lane priority to stick with his team, but unfortunately he was not able to do so. And there you go. If you put all your eggs in one basket, and if the basket does not stick around, then you can't really do much, right? And I think NTO have to go back to the drawing board and think about how they're going to draft in this game 2 and how they play out with their leads coming on to game 2, because it is their final game potentially, and if they end up losing, it's going to be the end of the tournament for them. Yeah, exactly. So a lot to think about for them, but for the side of Old Gods, doing pretty well, and we expected that from them, honestly.
Honestly, yes, they are pretty much veterans of the scene, how many times they have been playing these tournaments. But another point to put out is that Nocturne pick from NTO not paying out at all that they wanted. It was their first pick. He did have an excellent first ult that he did do in the top side of that counter gate over there, but that's about all I could see as a benefit from him. This Rakan was keep on getting caught out in these team fights. The first one to be going down, absolutely not worth it in the team fights. But yeah, that being said, let's look at these fights. There were a bunch of fights that we did a bit miss out on some of the replays, but yeah, we're going to see them over here in our crucial moments.
Yeah, for sure. And this was the first blood that the Silas secured for himself, right? That the Nocturne ended up dying in the bot lane. A lot of spells burned from the side of Xayah. Indica just got caught strolling right there in the park. So that was pretty unfortunate. So he had a rough start to the game, but this is where it all changed for him, right? 1-2, make that a 2-2, and then 3-2. Indica just finding his way back. Yeah, that was just pretty well played from all of them right there. And
absolutely.
Sekiro was pretty unfortunate that he could not get a reset. If he had it, maybe this game would have looked a little different here. A Nocturnal comes in, they burn Zuko down. I think Zuko did not have the best games, although his KDA did look pretty good after the game was done. But I think I would just really like to see him on the Renekton, man. He's very good on that champion. I'm not sure why he doesn't play it. In the top side of the map, as you could see, Indica did pick up the kill onto lane burn. In the bot side, the Rakan charms in, flashes out, gets killed regardless. And we had a lot of fights.
This is where the Talia TP also got cancelled over there in that fight. So just a bit of a gap from Simp over there in the mind that is like, oh, the Silas is close by, he can cancel me. Silas goes golden ship, but the ult doesn't go off anyway. Gets it back after the stasis just takes him down. Just a couple of fights, and over here you see the Baron just goes in the hands of the members of Old Gods. They do take it over there, and just a lot of early jungle priority for them. You know, they did get those 2 grubs out of those 3 in the beginning. This team fight over here where the Silas get caught out, I think this was maybe what I thought was a turning point for NTO, where I thought this is how their team fight should be looking like. This is where we had secured the fight, the Xayah just hitting from outside, and you'll see an excellent triple route that comes out for him as well from the Talia stun. So and the Talia after this will chase down this Leona with her own ultimate. So this was just excellent fighting from the side of NTO, and I honestly thought this would be their turnaround point, where they just prevented this Soul Drake from going over the Gwen, knowing that the Drake goes down, because over there the Rakan will be pretty much dead once this fight does go out over here. And you can see the Nocturne just keeps on getting caught out. Did not have an excellent time. At 31 minutes, this man was 1-7-7, could do nothing, especially with the split pushing of Zuko in the top side. That just meant that Talia had to go match him, allowed the Drake to be picked up in their favor. And this fight, look at the Rakan, he goes in, but there is no follow-up. By the time the Nocturne comes in, the Rakan's already going down, and even gives a reset for the Tristana to jump out of it. So just all in all, not maybe on the same page when these team fights are going down, Kaka.
Yeah, and Talia TP to her death as well in the top lane. Potato Monster gets the triple kill, makes it look easy right here. I thought they could have ended the game, but they picked up the Baron instead. And then one more team fight comes in. Indica goes in right there onto the Rakan, finishes him off. Potato Monster actually going to get that kill. The Leona finds herself into the backline. And then, yeah, it was just a formality. They look at the Darius running opposite side of the map. Simp 1 gets caught yet again on this Talia. Potato Monster is going to finish Darius off right here. They get the dragon. They get a few kills on inside the enemy base, and then they end the game. So, yeah, that one team fight, it looked like maybe NTO had some sort of life left in them. But again, it did not matter as much. Poor Xayah could not really do all on her own. was pretty fed though. I mean, you look at his items, he has 4 items completed, but he really could not carry the game because his teammates were dying everywhere. Just look at the score, right? 1-9 on lane 1, 0-9 on Dranza. So like they really could not peel for this Xayah, and unfortunately they lose game 1. But Potato Monster is now 1 game closer towards yet another final. And let's see what happens in this game 2 that we will have coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, and as you said, the Xayah was doing the work, but just absolutely no peel for the man. And as an AC player, I just feel for him. If you have no one to protect you, you are just a sitting chicken in there, a sitting duck. You just go down immediately in these team fights, right? There's nothing you can do. The fights were not working out. They maybe just have to rethink how they drafted quite a bit, especially with this Nocturne not being as efficient as they did hope for it to be. But with that being said, guys, we'll just take a look at what this game seemed like from the statistics point of view, right? It was a pretty long game that I think Old Gods had a very good lead and maybe could have ended it maybe even 8 minutes earlier, honest to God. But 38 minutes going down, 31 kills to OG, 11 kills to NTO. The goal difference is quite significant as well, around 12k actually in that sense. 9 towers for OG, 3 for the NTO, all 4 Drakes for OG as well. The only one Drake that NTO did get was the 4th Drake that OG was trying to get, but because of that excellent team fighting, that was where I love to see that Rakan engage. He did stop all of that going down. They managed to get the Drake, but after that it just all fell apart as well. OG in the end do secure that Elder Dragon with that Baron buff on them that led to the end. They had got a Baron previously as well, and because of the second time when Zinja went into the pit to take the Void Grubs, he couldn't get any. He got only those 2 from the first time the Void Grubs spawned, and the four were picked up by NTO. But they had a pretty good early game, but after that it just completely fell apart for the side of NTO, and that's all I can say about that there, Kaka.
Yeah, and just let's quickly take a look at the MVP as well. I think it's going to be Indica picking up multiple triple kills on this Xin Zhao. 10, 3 and 10, almost 16,000 gold for himself in this match. So props to Indica. He has done pretty well in this game coming in, and hopefully he does more of the same work in the next game as well. So congratulations to him. He was the one who set up Old Gods beautifully from the early game towards that late game, mid-game side. Got the dragons, got the grubs, as many as he could, and yeah, just really well done from this Xin Zhao.
Yeah, absolutely well played by this man. He gets that triple kill, gets another triple kill, and just completely snowballs off of that. Got his team most of the jungle objectives, only giving up 4 of those grubs. Everything else this man has is what he got, and just we can't wait to see some more domination. Like you said, he was one of the newer faces on that team that we haven't seen, and he's performing phenomenally, especially playing with that kind of a roster, right? So that being said, guys, we will be taking a short break before we head into game 2 of the second semi-finals.
I survived. I survived.
Barely breathing, don't let go. Hear the whispers, listen close. I know you've never strayed from the fold, but that's how freedom begins. Bended knees and broken bones, a bleeding heart never bleeds alone. I am one of many cries. We are far from the ashes. Rise up, break the cage, be the lion, be the storm, be the strike of the lightning. Rise with the dawn, rage like the sun. This is what we came for. Revolution. Burn your bridges, make your choice. Fight your demons, raise your voice. They're only silent if we're making noise. So let the battle begin. Bended knees and broken bones, a bleeding heart never bleeds alone. I am one of many cries. off like the others, but I your secrets inside. You didn't pay attention, like an experiment. No, you're gonna pay for your crimes. I'll change your perspective, I'll teach you a lesson. Make it my mission. Oh yeah, I'll have you wishing you could go back in time to never test my limits. Nothing you say will fix it. I'm too out of my mind. You're riding high, but I've got you this time. Oh, look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Try to take me down. Lost but now I'm found. Used to be the victim in the dead of night, but I can be a villain in the moonlight. Look at me now. In the moonlight. Got you this time, got you this time. You can't hide. Pay for your crimes, baby, that's right. Got you this time, you can't hide. Pay for your crimes, baby, that's right. Oh, look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Try to take me down. Lost but now I'm found. Used to be the victim in the dead of night, but I can be a villain in the moonlight. Look at me now. In the moonlight.
I'm taking my stack back 'cause I want that and I get what I want. Whatever the price tag, I'ma pull it up and be gone in a minute. I want something up on the chain with a little ice on it. Use a little advice for you. No one ever is nice to you unless the price is right. Whoa. I wanna cash out, take a stack out, hit a jet in the morning. Riding the waves, making them waves, no time for crying and moaning. Wrong in the place, catch of the day. Just got this morning. Taking my time, you'll be amazed. Yeah, I got it. Not dealing with nonsense, got my conscience on a whole nother level. If you like a nice girl, just ask twice, girl. I could win a gold medal. I could be rough and have you suffer just for my own pleasure. I'm not gonna waste my time is too precious to measure. Say it till they can hear it in the air, making sure the message doesn't disappear. We don't need fake love to elate us in and out the other ear. I don't make time for nothing but the work and the cheers. I'm making a good life that'll last me. I'm just clearing the air.
Hey, run it, run. No, hey. I've been running out of time, think I need to rewind, feeling out of line. I put everything aside, hoping that I make it right, all the things I do for you. I've been running out of time, think I need to rewind. like I'm righteous. In my mind, see it grab me with my likeness. Up till 5, no one working like this, I guess. Put in 12-hour shifts while I write this. And I know when the black shit, they showing love. Not everyone a day one, don't lie to me. And they wanna take credit when no credit's due. Say what you want, but it don't bother me. I've been running out of time, think I need to rewind, feeling out of line. I put everything aside, hoping that I make it right, all the things I do. I've been running out of time, think I need to rewind, feeling out of line.
Alright guys, welcome back to Crucial by Micron presents SKplz Community Clash powered by Zotac Gaming. We are into the semi-finals yet again, semi-finals to a 1-0 lead coming out for the side of OGs right there. A pretty convincing game 1, I would say. Endeka getting that MVP performance as well in that game 1, so that's really good for the rookie coming in for the side of OGs. And I would like to welcome Fireball yet again, my dynamic duo. Someday I'm going to get tired of saying that, but not yet. Welcome, Fireball.
Hi. Someday I think we're gonna get tired of doing as well. But
I don't think
let's
that's
just jump into the second game. So second semi-finals, first game taken by Potato Monster and Gang on the back of that early Xin Zhao dominance along with his late game Tristana, and he would be wanting to do the similar things. Whoa, OGs have a crazy logo.
Yeah, right. I said the same thing as well. Like that's a lot of old gods right there on that logo. But speaking of getting, the gods, we do get into the game. Speaking of the bans, Aurora gets banned yet again. It was banned in game 1. The Darius though is banned from the side of old gods. Don't want to play against that yet again. And now let's see what NTO decides to ban, what changes that they have made in the draft coming into this game too.
Let's see if they decide to go for any changes. Whenever they're playing against Potato Monster, I think the teams, they tend to ban out the Tristana and the Caitlyn, and they try to target ban him a lot because he plays those two champions a lot. But I think recently he has picked up the Kaisa and the Smolder, so no point in trying to target ban him anymore. I would have liked to see some sort of a Xin Zhao ban coming out, considering what happened to them last game, and let's see what they decide to do as their last ban. And they are on the blue side yet again, and what priority they put on their first pick.
Yeah, and nothing has changed for the side of NTO, just banning the same 3 champions that they banned in the last game. Meanwhile, old gods do ban that Mordecai, so the Irelia is going to get locked in straight up right there, which was banned in the previous game. So let's see how it works out. I don't think Irelia is a champion that you would want to first pick unless you're a one trick. So maybe one of these guys are a one trick Irelia player, but we'll have to see. The Silas gets banned from the side of old gods. They had previously picked it up, but clearly they didn't like what they saw from their own teammates, so that gets banned as well. And the Tristana is going to come in yet again for Potato Monster, and let's see. I mean, this Irelia can be a flex pick, can go towards that top lane or the mid lane. So I would like to just see a jungle pick coming in right here.
Taking the Nocturne this time is one of the most meta junglers right now, and always a threat. With his global ultimate can change any fight that is going on. Solid pick, nothing too fancy, nothing surprising over there. And counter to that, we've seen a lot of players go for the Y. Maybe let's see if they try to pick their jungler this time. They'll reply the Tristana with the Ezreal, so Potato Monster gets his Tristana yet again, and that is always very scary. And NTO taking their time thinking about what to pick next, not hovering anything as of yet. I would assume it should be the jungler because the jungler is locked in for the old squad. So Sejuani, really solid pick with the sustain, the tankiness, the engage that she brings, and paired with the Irelia, the melee passive, it's just a solid pick all around.
Yeah, a very meta pick as well. Really solid pick in the current state of game. And again, as you said, pairs up pretty well with the Irelia, which looks like it will be going towards that top side because the Renekton does get logged in for Zuko. And I have been crying for this pick to come in for the side of Zuko because he does play a pretty mean Renekton and it just doesn't pick it up too often. It's always left open against him as well. So I think he should just make this one of his champs and try to get it banned and get the draft advantage. But it's going to come in now, and wherever the Irelia goes, I think you can follow it up with the Renekton, who has a pretty solid matchup into that champion. Yeah, and just speaking of ADCs, Faisal, I think Ezreal is in a better state right now than the Tristana. I think that champion, you can be pretty versatile with it. So
yeah, definitely,
I
but
like
then
that.
the amount of skill that you require on Ezreal is much higher as
Yeah,
well.
100%.
If you're not able to hit your skill shots and the champion just does nothing, right? So it depends on the player. If the ADC player from NTO is known to play Ezreal, then definitely he should be providing a lot more DPS and utility compared to the Tristana. Tristana not a good champion in the current meta. Minimum needs 3 items to be relevant, and if you shut her down before that happens, it's just GG, no ADC for the
Yeah,
old
and she
gods.
can really struggle. Yeah, she can really struggle, but Potato Monster, he is just so comfortable on this champion that he is going to pick it up whenever it's left open.
Oh, yeah, that is
NTO
the
though
case.
are going to ban out the Leona. We can't really see what the 5th ban is. The Galio ban comes out, which I don't like, because if NTO had picked that champion up, they would lack a lot of damage coming in, so they do need some sort of a control mage to come in, or something like the Ari, Orianna, Syndra that can deal a lot of burst damage to the side of old gods. This should be the support pick. The Taric comes in from the side of old gods. What do you make of that pick?
I mean, I guess these champions like to dive in a lot. The Tristana dives in, the Nocturne dives in, the Renekton goes in. So Taric ultimate should help them in those team fights where they're all up in the faces of NTO. And Taric provides a lot of sustain for the Tristana in lane as well. And I mean, Alistar a good pick against Taric. You can just knock him back whenever he tries to stun you. And I don't expect the Taric to do anything in the lane. I mean, against an Ezreal and Alistar, it's just gonna be hard. But the combo is there when you use your stun on top of the Tristana, and the Tristana jumps in, and that's how you land the stun. The same can be done for the Renekton and Nocturne, as I said before, but definitely a cheeky pick, not very standard, not what we're used to. And let's see how Gracias navigates around this Taric pick for himself.
Yeah. And for the mid laner, Simp, he is going to pick the Rise for himself. So I like that. You are against 3 melee champions, so he can obviously find the range. I like the Orianna pickup coming in as well. Can do pretty well in isolation in the matchup in the mid lane as well. So the really solid draft coming out from the side of old gods. If they had something like a Kaisa, or an Ashe, I think that would be a much better draft. But again, just playing towards the comfort of Potato Monster right there. So old gods again looking very solid. And for the side of NTO as well, this Irelia pick has really got to deliver, because they have put such a priority picking it first in the draft as well. And now the onus is on Sekiro to deliver in this game, because if he can't, this will be the end of NTO's journey from this tournament at least. So let's see how he plays on this Irelia on the top lane. I think Laneburn will be looking to distribute all of his resources towards the top side of the map as well. But the Renekton is just he's such a solid champion, so I'm not too sure how well Sekiro can do into him. And, yeah, I do favor old gods draft pretty heavily in this one.
Yeah, the top side looks just so strong for old gods. The Renekton, Orianna, and the Nocturne, the combination with the ball ultimate, and is just very top side dominant draft. The Tristana should take some time to ramp up, and against an Ezreal Alistar, they should not get kills in lane. Ideally, if played properly, NTO should be playing around that and trying to suppress Puredo Monster and his Tristana. We saw already in game 1, if you leave him alone and you let him farm up, get those items, what he can do later on, because again, still Tristana might not be the best ADC right now, but he is one trick Tristana, so he knows his way around that champion really well. And scaling wise, NTO do have the Rise, and Ezreal scales pretty well as well. The Irelia against Renekton, I mean, Renekton should fall off later when compared to the Irelia, right? So
I mean, for sure, but I think Renekton, I feel like Irelia is a mid-game champion as well. I don't really think Irelia is a late-game champion anymore. And if you compare these two champions, then Renekton with the Sterux gauge, with the obscene amount of healing that he can do with his rage bar stacked up with the Q as well. I think Renekton is just the better champion overall, regardless of items as well. And Irelia is really struggling in the current meta. The Blade of the Ruined King has been nerfed way too many times. And the Wit's End was nerfed as well in the last patch. So all of the items that Irelia loves to build are getting nerfs as well, whereas Renekton, you can just go for that Black Cleaver, go for that Sterux gauge, and the 2 items in, you are one of the strongest champions in the game. And even in team fights, you have that Slice and Dice and Ruthless Predator to stun the carry. So it's just, Renekton provides a lot of value in team fights compared to the Irelia currently. So let's see how that's going to go, because if the Irelia, does not land her stun or misses one of her Qs, she becomes pretty useless in these team fights.
Considering that Taric gives ambient armor as well to his team, is just difficult for the Irelia to do anything. She goes in someone, the Taric just presses his stun and Irelia gets stunned. I think a lot of the focus would be on the Ezreal and the Rise to scale up fast, complete their tier items, get them stacking up fast by mid game, have those 2 items completed at least. I think Rod of Ages for Rise. And the Muramana for Ezreal along with the Trinity Force. That is the power spike after, because you can consider the tier items as essentially 1.5 items, not 1 item. After they stack up, the value they provide is a lot. I think that is the point in the game where they would be wanting to push their advantage, and by that time they should just hope the game is in a good state for them. They have to control the early game. They have to realize they are playing scaling champions in 2 lanes, and they should be okay with sacrificing some of the objectives as well. Let's see. Let's just hope that they play around that and not throw away the game early on, because the champions like Nocturne, the Renekton, they would be wanting to press their advantages early on, and they would be giving hell to their opponents. And it's just all about playing around your strengths, and let's see if either of these team can do that.
Yeah, for sure. And with that, we will be jumping into this game 2 of semi-final 2. And if Old Gods win this game, they are into the grand final. So NTO have their work cut out for them, and they have no option other than winning this game to continue their journey in the tournament. If they end up losing, there are no second chances because this is a single elimination best of 3. And with that, we are going to be starting out in game 2. The Moo Cow, Alistair just ringing his bell. Always a lovely sight to see. And let's see what happens in this one.
So wards protecting the respective jungle entrances, not necessarily deep enough to spot out the pathing of the enemy junglers. Standard starts and both the junglers starting on the bot side, and no leash, always good to see that. Sekiro just trying to trade with Irelia level 1, with the Renekton level 1, and for the side of NTO, they would hope that this is a quiet early game. They would not want to fight all that much and just allow the Rise and Ezreal to scale up.
Yeah, I think that's what they need to do. Let the Rise get the Rod of Ages, get the Seraph's Embrace completed, and then wreak havoc in the team fights, because that champion does need items, but when you do get those items, Rise can just be really strong in the team fights. And Yeah, and just look at the top side already, right? 10 CS to 1, 2 CS of Irelia. He is picking all those creeps up under his turret, but that's the advantage that Renekton can get you. Can always, just push the lane up whenever you want against the Irelia. No harm, no foul. Very interesting pathing coming out from the side of Sejuani, though. Takes his red, takes the Krugs, and now skips out
The Raptor.
the Raptor camp completely. And I do not like that because he's not going to hit level 4 once he completes the full rotation of his jungle right there. So maybe he just wants to get that level 3 and run towards the top side of the map as soon as he can to get the Irelia ahead.
Or maybe they're expecting the Nocturne to have the faster clear, and she just wants there to be in time for the counter gank. Wants to support his top laner, but Irelia trading pretty well. The stun connects and the passive has charged up. Very good trade right there onto the Renekton. Now the Nocturne is there. Sejuani still a little late, just completed the blue buff right now, but Nocturne is level 4 compared to Sejuani's level 3, and now she should be there for the counter. Yeah, so I guess skipping the Raptors was for this exactly, and they end up protecting the Irelia.
Yeah, they do end up protecting the Irelia, but Zuko does have the TP available to him. So if he does not die, I don't think he should right here. Then he will be in a pretty good spot in that top lane. But let's see if Sejuani decides to pick up both the Scuttle Crabs, because they are available for him to pick up. He is looking towards that mid side. The Ryze can always EW root the target onto its place and enable the gang. So I think that's going to happen. Sejuani is towards that mid side of the map. The stacks do come in. I think this might be. Oh, Orianna has to flash away from trouble right there. Manages to survive, but at what cost? Losing her flash. So, I mean, that opens up a lot of opportunities for the Sejuani to come again in the future.
That gank was so telegraphed. Yeah, the Sejuani just showed on the top side. Obviously, she's just gonna take the crab and just walk mid lane. Still, Orianna not respecting that. Had to use her flash, and a huge wave now crashing under her turret. She will be stuck there to clear that one up, which allows the Ryze to take a good back and save his teleport as well.
Yeah, but let's see if he decides to save it, right? Because a lot of these players do like to burn their teleports even if they have, the wave crashing in. But he is going to be the smart guy. He is going to walk up towards the lane right now.
So pretty quiet game, 5 minutes in, just like NTO would want. There is a flash advantage overall on the mid lane, so Sejuani might be looking to get a gank. That good combo will connect onto both Polluted Monster and Gracias right there. The stun will land onto Taric. Ezreal does not have the mana for the follow-up damage, so nothing actually used up. The ignite burned from this Alistar, hoping to get a kill, but Gracias holding on to his exhaust, Polluted Monster holding on to his flash, so nothing lost for them.
Yeah, but I think that was a pretty good trade coming out from the Alistar Headbutt Pulverize. It's going to be channeled right there. Tristana going to run off, but Gracias might end up dying here. He does actually burns his flash and exhaust and still ends up dying. So great job from the bottom lane of NTO right here. Dronzer on this Alistar just going in on. Misses the flash pulverize right there, but yeah, that was pretty close. I'm not too sure if they would have still ended up killing him. Indica is here though, and the Alistar does not have flash, so I think that's going to be a kill. Potato Monster burns his ghost, is going to secure the kill for himself. It looks like he will. So a 1-for-1 in the long run right there.
Yeah, and they end up using solo kill for the Irelia onto a Renekton, and look at the massive wave that the Renekton is gonna miss out on it. Yeah. This is so bad for the Renekton right now. Level 7 Irelia to level 5, and this XP lead is just gonna grow wider with the wave that Renekton is about to miss. And oh my god, Sekiro has just completely finished this top lane.
Yeah, that top lane is done. He has a 31 CS advantage as well. Got 2 plates for himself. Denied a bunch of farm,
There
but
is
in the
the
mid lane,
combo.
yeah, that's a beautiful combo right there. Indica yet again showing up in this map number 2, but Zuko just not respecting the Irelia all incoming right there. Should have flashed the ultimate or the stun at least. I'm not too sure how he has managed to lose this matchup because it is quite favorable for
For
the
the
Renekton,
Renekton,
as you
yeah.
can, yeah, as you can deny a lot of what Irelia does with your stun and your slice and dice. You can always, run away from the stun as well. So I'm not too sure what went wrong for him, but now he is massively behind. 20 CS gap, almost 3 plates down in the top side. And yeah, he is struggling. And so far, Sekiro making this Irelia look like a broken champion.
Definitely looking like Irelia from 4 years ago, and Zuko is getting completely outclassed in that top lane. Meanwhile, the Ezreal doing well for himself, had the good recall, got the tier and the sheen both, so the perfect recall right there. Potato Monster got a kill too, unfortunately for Dranzer. He was stuck out in the enemy side trying to get a ward. But Ezreal should be feeling very good. They can always keep going for these sorts of engages. Sejuani flash follow up, a lot used there to get the kill onto the Taric, but hey, another kill on the Ezreal to boost and fasten up his item purchases. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, the Ezreal gets one more kill for himself. Very well done by the Sejuani as well. Flashes, lands her glacial prison onto this Taric yet again, and in the bottom, a beautiful ultimate by Potato Monster right there denies the Alistair headbutt pulverize. I think Potato Monster might have ended up dying right there, but is going to survive. So again, well played by him. But
one trick Tristana thing
for a reason, yeah. But the Ezreal and Alistair are having a really good time in this bot lane so far, and Gracia's not having the best of games early on at least.
Gracias struggling a bit. I mean, we expected this in the draft as well. Not the Taric cannot really engage onto an Alistair or an Ezreal, so pretty much expected in the bot lane for the Taric to struggle. But what we did not expect was to Zuko to fall so far behind. But that has happened, and I don't think he can stay in lane against this Irelia without giving.
He's
her,
2 levels down. Irelia can just decide to go in yet. Again,
stun,
misses
man.
the stun actually. Yeah. If that had connected, I think it would have been another solo kill. Just looking at the items, Clawfield's Hammer for Zuko, Pickaxe and Vampiric Scepter completed. Even has those attack speed bows for him. So like he is just very strong. He's going to freeze the lane as well, and Zuko is going to lose out yet again on a lot of CS. 30 CS down already in this matchup, as well as a solo kill and 3 plates.
Yeah, if we look at the gold, the difference between the top laner would be equal to the gold advantage that NTO have. I'm assuming Ezreal has a good amount of gold on him as well, but Potato does have a kill for himself and is keeping up on farm. Mid lane is a farm fest. Both of these champions cannot actually do anything on their own at this moment of time, I guess. Orianna will be waiting for the Nocturne. No need to use her ultimate without the Nocturne being there. So as we saw right there, forcing a flash out of Rise and will open up to another gang. Great engage coming on by the Alistar yet again, forcing the flash of the Tristana. Flash followed by Ezreal to auto attack was not enough. If it was the Q, maybe the Tristana would have gone down. Now the teleport is being channeled, though the Orianna is here. Flashless Ezreal. Use the E to get some distance, uses the barrier to stay alive for an extra second or two, but will go down eventually. And now is the time for this Alistar. Let's see who they end up giving the kill to. So Orianna gets a double kill. Perfect scenario for the side of Old Gods right there.
Yeah, a very high value TP coming in from the Orianna. Gets the double kill, punishes the over aggression coming out from the side of NTO, who burned both the flashes to try to kill the Tristana, who eventually just jumped and flashed away and survived with a sliver of health, but yeah, they get punished very heavily. But on the other side of the map, actually, Lane 1 did pick up the Rift Herald for himself, so some sort of trade back coming in. Uh, but yeah, this Oriana now 2-0-1 has the Luden's Tempest completed. Has not bagged yet after getting those kills, so he will be looking to get some more items for himself. Meanwhile, in the Dragon Pit, the TP is going to come in from Zuko. The Oriana does have his ultimate up, so let's see what happens here.
Good teleport, almost
Oh,
4v5 team fight for the side of Old Gods right now. Potato Monster is not there. Great knockup, but the
Oh,
Taric
that
ultimate
Taric
will buy so much time. Indica will take down the Bronze shutdown coming on to the jungler by Digita with his Ezreal. Now he's trying to kite away from the Renekton, but I don't know if he will be able to do that. There you go, goes down. A Potato Monster finds the Rise wandering off in the jungle. One kill only for the side of NTO, and Old Gods completely annihilate them in this team fight. Get the ace, will get the second dragon for themselves as well, and kills onto the Oriana, kills onto the Tristana is looking really good for them.
Yeah, and now we just got to see what this Taric can do in the team fight side. This was an ideal scenario. The Glacial Prison lands onto the Oriana, as you can see, but she did not die because of the Taric shield coming in, and then the ultimate comes in, and now all the damage that you do, it does not really matter because all of these champions are invulnerable. And eventually a shockwave comes in, the command attack comes in, and Oriana picks up yet another double kill, gets 3 more assists for his troubles as well, and a beautiful team fight from the side of OGs right there. Getting an ace and losing only their jungler. Very well done, and the ultimate of Nocturne is going to get burned actually in the mid lane, but there are 2 fights happening. Zuko will flash away, but this Rise looks like he is going to end up dying yet again.
I mean, we just saw why the Taric pick was there. He's not going to do much in the lane, but in team fights, he's just coming up so huge. Rise not positioning himself properly and ends up falling prey to the Nocturne ultimate there, but Zuko struggling again, had to use his flash to back away. Every time this Irelia lands her stun, there is kill threat because of the items that are completed. Blade of the Ruined King. Now Sejuani looking for an engage right there. The teleport is being channeled for the Rise on the top side brush as well. The stun will connect from the Sejuani. There is the ultimate. The slice will buy some distance. Meanwhile, bot lane off and you're trying to dive Potato Monster and Taric. The ultimate from Alistar makes him so tanky. Great knockup, double knockup coming in. Flash forward, flash backwards for any sort of hope of survival, but here comes the cavalry. The Oriana is there. Oriana not able to help his fellow out, but that was closer than Indica would have liked. Oriana just watching and providing moral support. I think Nocturne should have just kited towards the Oriana so that the ball could have been used and get those extra
for
shields
sure.
and movement speed.
But for all that aggression coming out from the side of Potato Monster and Gracias, W and Indica are there to spare their bot lane's blushes, get 2 kills in return, and this Oriana now is 5-0-5, 450 gold shutdown bounty. Great CS numbers as well for 16 minutes, and he is looking like he is going to carry this game alone. It seems like he's doing so well on this Oriana.
Yeah,
And it was rightly banned in game 1 actually.
All of the gold for his team is on that Oriana now. He has to buffer the stun and okay, flash forward when the Alistar little too overzealous. Like I think he expected his team to follow up magically, but that was not gonna happen, and this Irelia is shut down in the top lane. The Nocturne helping his buddy out and gets the kill onto him as well. And 2-1 and 4, those items will start rolling in for the Renekton. And now he is in a pretty decent spot, I guess, after he completes his first item. And Indica's Nocturne just so valuable. 12 KP out of the 13 that they have. Everywhere he has gone. He has helped his team out. Everything he has touched has turned to gold, and now they will pick up the Herald as well.
Yeah, and it's just so hard to play Irelia into the Renekton and the Nocturne, right? They have so much CC that you can always deny the dashes coming in from the side of Irelia. And that's exactly what happened, and not much that Sekiro can do. He has done quite well in the laning phase, but now again he is going to find himself, falling behind slowly but surely, because this Renekton has completed his Sundered Sky. Looks like he will be making another tunneler item in that Sterug's Gauge. And as you said, Indica, he performed really well in game 1. He's performing really well in game 2 as well. Wherever he goes, he gets a kill or assist. So great job done by him. And we do have some sort of gold lead coming in for the side of OGs right now. A lot of shutdown bounties, especially in that top side of the map. And it looks like Potato Monster picked up a cull really late in this game. You can see 47 stacks left. But I really don't mind that. Actually, you are going to farm up quite a lot, so it does not hurt as much, because the Tristana does not really have
one item slot.
Yeah, and it's a loss of one item slot, but at 18 minutes you don't really need a lot of item slots anyway, so it's fine. But the dragon has come up now, so let's see what sort of team fight do we get. The Paranoia comes in actually, and they are jumping onto the Rise. Actually, the Ezreal in the mid lane, who will flash and Arcane Shift away from trouble. But that's a half HP Ezreal, so maybe they can start this dragon. But the Orianna ultimate was burned as well, so let's see how OGs navigate this fight.
I mean, in the top lane as well, Zuko at least trying to hold this Irelia onslaught. Now has completed the Sundered Sky, and the dragon has started. Ultimates are down, the Shockwave is down, but the Paranoia is down as well. The teleport is now being channeled up. Sekiro is very scary for these teammates. Now great damage coming on to him by the Orianna, right to half HP. But now, as they are at a man disadvantage, the OGs just
But the TP is coming in from the side of Orianna. They're just going to push mid lane instead.
Yeah, they just leave that one alone. They'll try to get this mid lane turret at least, and they do end up getting that. So a decent trade right there. Just a single dragon for the mid lane tier 1, and now they have to escape somehow. Alistar combo does connect onto the Nocturne over there, and Indica will take down the Irelia, but the Ezreal is left untouched, doing so much damage in the background. The carries, all of the abilities were used up on the Sejuani and the Irelia and the Alistar. Ezreal and Ryze left completely unchecked, and they end up taking down 3 members of OGs.
I mean, in a 3v5, getting 3 kills is pretty nice, I would say, for the side of OGs. But the 3 members that they lost all had shutdown bounties on them, right? So all in all, I think advantage NTO. I am not too sure why OGs thought they could fight this one around the Taric. I mean, their bot lane was not there at all. And just look at this fight. Indica gets caught by the headbutt pulverize right there. Flash turn comes in from the Irelia, misses actually. The shockwave comes in. Renekton goes in. And Paranoia comes in as well from the Nocturne. Finish up the Irelia. The Nocturne ends up dying. Zuko flashes in, gets the Sejuani, ends up dying himself. Meanwhile, W gets the kill onto the Alistar, and then 550 gold bounty onto the Ryze, who got a couple of kills in this team fight, and looks like he will have his completed Seraphs, at least the Archangel staff right now. And as you can see, he has completed that. It is going to be upgraded pretty soon. In the bot lane, he is going to land it, and I think that's a dead Orianna.
Oh, that's a dead Orianna. Great ultimate there for the knockback though, and will escape with the skin of her teeth.
Yeah, that was very lucky. Played well towards the top side though. I think that's a dead Ryze. Hopefully Seraphs and Phase Rush MS. Oh, beautiful Glacial Prison comes out by the Sejuani to save his mid laner, and now Zuko might end up dying. Look at these HP bars, they're so low
Oh,
right
the
there.
heal, the
Sejuani might end
standard
up dying
guy
now.
The
Never
fear will
mind.
connect. No, that's such a back and forth fight. We don't know what's going to happen, but the end of all of that, there's a kill in the bot lane. The Irelia
And
will
towards the
take
top
down.
side as well, actually.
Yeah,
Indica
Sejuani.
did end up dying.
Okay, so 2 members dead for the side of OGs. NTO, the Irelia is just a split push menace right now. I don't know who is gonna be able to match her, and they are suffering because of that. Indica, I mean, W was trying to deal with this Irelia and ends up dying and will fall behind on tempo and ends up using the stopwatch as well. So Sekiro doing a lot in that split push. In the top lane though, it was so close. The Sejuani came in and extended the fight quite a bit, but then Gracias was there to do just that, and they ended up taking down Sejuani right there. 23 minutes, 40,000 gold to 40,000 gold, dead
Yeah, it's bang even.
And it just comes down to execution, and as time passes, this Ezreal and Ryze are just gonna keep getting stronger and stronger though.
Yeah, and as you can already see, like the Rise is going to get his third item completed pretty soon. The Frozen Heart is going to come in for him. And so I think NTO are pretty heavily favored if it goes to the late game because of the Rise and the Ezreal. With the tiers stacking in, the Sejuani of course becomes a really tanky champion as well, and so does the Alistair. So I mean, they're doing pretty well, and this Rise was 0-3 at one point. Now 3-3, 150 gold shutdown bounty. Sekiro though might end up dying right here, does not have the flash, has the ultimate, but the stun is going to miss completely, and yeah, he is just gone.
Yeah, but 2 members in the bot side, one of them was the jungler, so this just gives them free passage to the Baron, and it should melt pretty soon. OGs will not be able to reach there in time, so still Sekiro's death was so valuable for NTO, pulling 2 members down and make sure that his team can take the Baron.
Yeah, for sure. I think Sekiro won't mind that. But I think OGs just switched off for a minute there because that was the expected play. The Renekton did have his TP available. The Paranoia was up as well.
Oh, great cancel from the W, but the ultimate will buy some time for Potato Monster. He's trying to kite as much as he can. The Rise phase shift is there, and the W cooldown might be just coming back down. They're taking awfully long to complete that, but finally he goes down. Red team do get the dragon as well. Now Ezreal has completed the 3 items. Potato Monster unfortunately sitting on just the 2. And the Ezreal is ramping up slowly but surely. Proto Monster is gonna be a little bit irrelevant till he gets his third item at least. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. He just saw an opportunity for a 3-man knockup and he just took it. There's no teammates behind him.
Beautiful combo.
Why did the Alisa just do that? The Taric ultimate is gonna buy a lot of time for their team, and the stuns are there from Taric. The heals are keeping his team alive. Vegeta trying to do as much as can, weaving in those Qs, Essence, Flux, and the ultimate does end up getting 2 kills now. Here is Ezreal's power in those team fights. No one able to get a hold of this champion and takes down 2 members of OGs, and this is what I was talking about. If you let the Ezreal scale up to this point, this is what he can do exactly in this team fight.
Yeah, 100%. And let's get a replay of that. Johnson making such a big mistake, jumping in alone. A 4v1 right here. I'm not too sure what he's thinking. I'm not like... It's very confusing, but then he ends up dying. Paranoia comes in, the follow-up comes in, but now it seems like they lack damage because this was a 3-man shockwave, a beautiful Arcane Shift coming out actually from the side of the Vegeta, and flashes away from the Renekton, who ends up so low. And look at this Ezreal, he is just free firing right there, connects a bunch of mystic shots onto the front line, and then a beautiful ultimate comes out. Picks up the Orianna as well with his mystic shot, kills the Nocturne right there with the same blow. And yeah, I mean, this Ezreal, man, he's looking really strong, and I think he's going to carry this game, and we might end up going to game 3 after all.
Yeah, the Ezreal just shining, and as we expected, the Rise Ezreal duo in this later stages of the game just doing so much damage. And now there's an engage coming on to the Nocturne. The Taric will get caught out, just goes down. Simp goes unstoppable. It's a 4v5 for 32 seconds, and they are looking to push this top lane out. The mid lane is already supered up for the side of NTO, and the side of OGs are struggling.
Yeah, for sure. And in the last 5 minutes, I think Potato Monster has made a couple of mistakes as well. Got caught trying to take the tier 2 turret in the mid lane. Got caught again after he jumped onto the face of Rise, and Ezreal ended up dying. And now let's see. Look at the number of void grubs that are right there. A beautiful shockwave comes in. Actually, Sekiro is going to connect his ultimate. But yeah, I mean, they just lack damage.
Is trying a lot of time. Tristana is free firing from the back. No one has touched her even once, but the damage is just not there. This Tristana does nothing without her 3-4 items, and this ADC is not doing the carrying for his team right now. But unfortunately for Potato Monster, his Tristana has been nerfed to the ground, and probably not the best of picks, if not getting ahead in the lane, and the Nexus turrets will fall. The Nexus is to follow. Series is tied up 1-1 in the second semifinals. NTO hammer back to OGs and equal up on the scoreboard, and now we go to the all-important game 3 to figure out who will reach the grand finals.
Yeah, and now for the side of OGs, I think they will be left wondering how have they managed to lose this game where their Orianna was 5-0 and 5. All 3 of their champions had shutdown bounty towards that top side of the map. But they ended up taking, a 3 versus 5. Did trade 3 for 3, but lost a bunch of gold. And when the Rise gets the kills, when the Ezreal gets the kills and those big shutdown bounties, I mean, those are the sort of mistakes that you don't want to be making, and they paid for it. And how losing game 2 and now just a best of 1 to decide who our second grand finalist will be. OGs, I think this game it was theirs to lose and they lost it.
Yeah, they drafted pretty well, but just you would not expect the Irelia to beat out the Renekton when that happened. We'll just look into the crucial moments right now and see what went down. The Irelia completely dominating the top lane, and in the bot side as well. Actually, Ezreal and Alyssa getting the kills onto the bot lane of OGs, and just things happened that should not have happened. The Irelia, I think, just bought so much time in the early game in the top side that this Nocturne Orianna duo also were not able to take over. We talked about it in the draft as well. I personally felt the Renekton Nocturne Orianna draft is just so strong, and the top side should have completely belonged to the side of OGs, but it was not the case.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we saw the shortcomings of the Tristana pick as well, right? Once you fall behind, or even if it's an even state, she really struggles to do damage against this Ezreal, who is, such a great champion right now and can really play from a screen out with the range that he has. But I mean, we can criticize all we want, but OGs did have a great start to this game. I mean, look at the Orianna 2-0 and 1, and they won this team fight 5-1, I believe it was, and the Orianna ended up getting 2 more kills, 3 assists as well. So it was their game to throw for sure, and then they did it somehow. That makes no sense to me. How they can throw such a lead, and we will see how that happened, right? All 3 of these champions who had shutdown bounties for themselves, the Renekton, Nocturne and Orianna, ended up dying, just wandering around for no reason at all. And yeah, I think that was the avenue for NTO to come back, and they did. And once you get ahead on this Ezreal, the Rise, it's very hard to throw. Even with the Taric ultimate, OGs did lack the damage to kill these champions, and yeah, that's exactly what happened in this one.
And unfortunately for OGs, they were not able to close out this series after the dominating first game that they had.
See, right here, this is what I'm talking about, right? Look at the shutdown bounties, 150, 150, 500. All three of them are going to die right here and give a whole bunch of gold to the enemy team. This should have never happened. Look at the Ezreal, he picks up one bounty. Rise is going to pick up the Renekton, and this 550 gold bounty goes to I think the Rise right here yet again. But this sort of thing should not have happened at all. You can't be so overconfident when you have such bounties that you start and you try to fight a 5v3 essentially.
And they used all of their major cooldowns onto the Alistar of all people, who was ulted up as well, and it was just too much to burn onto the support. And once the Rise and Ezreal came into the fight, it was just all over for them, and they ended up paying for their own mistakes. Hopefully they can polish that out in the final game, and will be looking to secure the grand final ticket for themselves. But NTO will not allow that so easily. We saw in the game 2, even with the losing draft, I would say, I mean, that's what it looked like. They ended up winning the lanes at least, and 10 towers to 29 minutes is what it took NTO to close this one out. It was pretty bang even in gold, even by like 22-23 minutes. I remember both the teams at 37,000 gold. So in just a span of 7 minutes, NTO ended up getting 7,000 gold lead, and they completely snowballed the game after that. And there you go, NTO leveling up the series 1-1. We will come back shortly.
I really feel like some other ADC would have really helped OGs right here. Something like the Kai'Sa, right? Nocturne is going to jump into the backline with the Orianna ultimate, so you get the knock-up that enables your killer instinct, and you can always jump the backline. So I think those are the sort of changes that OGs can make. And let's look at the crucial MVP for this game. I think that is going to be the Ezreal. He did so much in this team, in these team fights. 947 damage per minute is quite high. 9, 3 and 6, 7.1 CS per minute, 14,000 gold for himself. But in the team fights, man, he was untouchable. And that one crucial team fight in the mid lane, when we saw him connect his ultimate, connect his mystic shots left and right, and getting those kills.
That was like 4v5 when his Alistar decided to just end. So imagine if the Alistar was there as well. So
yeah, I mean, props to Ezreal, Digita right here. He played really well, but I do think OGs threw this game quite hard. So that's something that they need to work on. And for the side of NTO, they need to make sure that they don't fall as behind as they were in this game, as well as the game 1. And all deciding game 3, and whoever wins that will make it to the finals tomorrow. So it's going to be a lot of pressure for both these teams, and let's see who can prevail in this one.
Series tied up all 1-1, so nerves around in both the camps, but NTO do have the momentum, winning the second game in a very convincing fashion, and they will be feeling very good. They don't want to change anything out of that. We will be heading into a short break, and let's see if OGs can bring it back in the third game, or NTO take it on to game 3 and go to the grand finals. Be right back.
I put everything aside, hoping that I make it right, all the things I do.
Going straight to the sky, let me see you put your hands up. Cause we do till we die and we on another level. To the rest, wave goodbye, put baguettes in the benzo. Got a piece of the pie, told you once, told you twice, that we only got one life, stay up. Diamond shine, best at night, you wear yours, I'll wear mine, go dumb. Tonight, dipping low with my girls tonight, got my ice in the clouds. Cali Dro got me feeling right with my ice in the clouds. Dipping low with my girls tonight, got my ice in the clouds. Cali Dro got me feeling right. Wanna see you put your hands up. Pointing straight to the sun, everybody lift your bands up. Celebrate cause we won, we stay on another level. Yeah, the team stay fly, word to Bruno, get your rings up. Cause the limit is the sky. Told you once, told you twice, that we only got one life, stay up. Stay so young. Diamond shine, best at night, you wear yours, I'll wear mine, go dumb. Tonight, dipping low with my girls tonight, got my ice in the clouds. Cali Dro got me feeling right with my ice in the clouds. Dipping low with my girls tonight, got my ice in the clouds. Cali Dro got me feeling right with my ice in the clouds. Dipping low with my girls tonight, got my ice in the clouds. Cali Dro got me feeling right with my ice in the clouds. Dipping low with my girls tonight, got my ice in the clouds. Cali Dro got me feeling right.
This ain't what you want. I've been living at hotels for a month. I don't take any meetings after lunch. I've been spelling all my sneakers, I don't jump. Me and mine only tryna double up, yeah. Me and mine tryna build, come up front, yeah. Measure twice, cut once, what we on, yeah. Measure twice, cut once, what we on, yeah. I've been reading Proverbs, all the work, yeah. And I've been shutting down the stars, yeah. Cause when it rains, then it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more, yeah. And I've been reading all the war, yeah. And I've been shutting down the stars, yeah. Cause when it rains, then it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more, yeah. And I've been reading all the war, and here I go again. I hope y'all never ever get the chance to win. I'm Westbrook and I'm staring at the rim. Yeah. Does anybody really wanna jump with him? Yeah. I got agents who talk like friends. Yeah. I got friends only wanna talk business. I got expensive cause winning's expensive. I got expensive cause winning's expensive. I've been reading all the war, and I've been shutting down the stars. Yeah. Cause when it rains and it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more. Yeah. And I've been reading all the war, yeah. And I've been shutting down the stars. Yeah. Cause when it rains and it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more, yeah. And I've been reading all the war, and I've been shutting down the stars, yeah. Cause when it rains and it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more, yeah. And I've been reading all the war, yeah. And I've been shutting down the stars, yeah. Cause when it rains and it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more, yeah. And I've been reading all the war, yeah.
playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit. Stayed down, remain humble and I made it work. Crazy how I came out so clean from the dirt. We was using candles on the nights the lights ain't work. We ain't never going back to that and that I merged. Turn your back on me, the worst mistake you ever make. Keep my grass cut, gotta watch out for the snakes. If it's on my plate, best believe it's getting 8. I'm ballin' like I'm Kobe 33 before the 8. I just want the rings and the medals and the trophies. I want the Kardashians and Jenner to all know me. I wanna take a Uber to the hills to visit Chloe. I want the floor seats cause I'm tired of the nosebleeds. When the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit. I feel like I'm Scottie Pippen, putting on the work but they don't give me no recognition. Basically the league's MVP but the P is missing. I'm the most valuable but sometimes they tend to forget it. I live my life on the edge but my back against the wall. I make sure my shoes lace cause who gon' catch me if I fall against the odds, but I'ma beat them all. I used to have a lot of friends, I never thought my day one circle be this small, but who needs love if it's fake love? I'm tryna shine like the diamonds on Mike's glove. Get in my way and you gon' feel it just like Mike's glove. I'm tryna go from burnt rugs to the red rugs. That's facts. When the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit. Who gon' stop me now? I'm on the road, let me know. Who gon' stop me now? Who gon' stop me now? Who gon' stop me now? I'm on the road, let me know. Who gon' stop me now? Gang, gang. When the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit. When the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit.
Welcome back, guys, to the final game of the second semi-final of Crucial by Micron presents SKplz Community Clash powered by Zotac, where NTO are taking on the Old Gods. The series is all tied up 1-1 after that great performance by NTO in the second game. With me is going to be Madness for this final game to determine who will reach the grand finals of this tournament. Madness, your thoughts on the second game?
An absolute throw, honestly, by the side of OG. They could have honestly finished off the series there, but hey, they did win game 1, gives them another chance to finish this series off for themselves. They can get this game 3 under their belts, and it seems that this Nocturne didn't work both sides when it was taken place. It has a 0% win rate in this series, but it was such a good combo with the Nocturne and Orianna. I honestly thought that they would be dominating a lot of these fights, just did not seem that well. Predator Monster could not get to that point where he could be a menace to the opponent team. On the other side, the Ezreal ADC was just hitting so many Qs, was doing what he is supposed to do in these team fights, and was just a menace. Even at one point stealing a red buff just for fun with his ultimate, just having the game of his life, just completely enjoying it. So good to see NTO actually doing a fight back over here, because game 1 was pretty much a domination on the side of Old God. So now this does look neck and neck, and honestly can't wait to see what does happen in this game 3.
So we will be looking at any changes in the draft that they bring up for now, and I think OGs should be looking to go for some other pick in the bot lane. At least you saw the Ezreal just got the free lane, and once he started getting those 3 items, he was sitting at 3 items while the Tristana was only at like 2 and not even 2.5 or something like that. So Ezreal did look very, very comfortable along with his Alistar in the bot lane, and they ended up getting kills in situations where they should not have actually, but props to them. Even the Irelia is coming out on top of the Renekton. So NTO is looking very good on their comfort picks, and OGs will have to change something in the draft at least. I feel we will be having a short pause in the draft, so I think there is some sort of a disconnect issue going on. And do you expect any changes in the draft right now?
Yeah, with that being said, I think we have solved those difficulties and we will be jumping directly into chip select over here. And as we can see again, that Aurora ban coming in. They do love this first ban of Aurora. The Lulu does follow suit like last time. Now the old gods don't want to deal with this Irelia at all, or the Darius, both of them being banned out. The champs that Sekiro was dominating on. And that's just how that goes. They don't want Sekiro to have the domination against Zuko in the top lane, so maybe now a bit of breathing room for Zuko. And now also the Ezreal ban coming out. I think we all expected this after Digita's performance on it last time. And NTO just sticking to the traditional bans of the Aurora, then the Lulu, then the Jarvan. That's how they have gone. They do love these picks, and they once again do have first pick. Yeah, sorry about that for the delay over there. We had a bit of connectivity issues, but yes, the Mord getting locked in for Sekiro. So once again, he's going for a domination in the top lane, but Zuko answering back with the Gwen of himself. W will be getting the Silas this time. It did not work out that well for him in game 1. So yeah, I just can't wait to see if he can do something else on this lane burn. The ADC of NTO are locking in the ML. So would like to see a Rel or a Leona with it as well. That will be a solid comp for the Steam fights. It will be pretty much domination, and I honestly want to see Old Gods pick something else as their ADC than the Tristana, just not giving that time. Potato Monster is very compatible on that champion. He is very confident with it, and it looks like the Alistar will be making a return over here. Any thoughts about that, Fireball?
And they do get the Alistar yet again. He did so well in the previous game, and this time he has the misfortune on his back as well. The combination is just too damn strong. The Alistar just goes in, knocks up a few people, and but by the time you land back down, the misfortune ult would have taken down half your HP bar there regardless. But the problem with Alistar is you can pick the Silas, and Silas with an Alistar ult is a very, very, very scary champion to deal with, and I really like this pick coming on by the side of the Old Gods. So W is gonna be on that Silas, and he has the Alistar ult, and it doesn't even matter what other ults are there. If you get that Alistar ult in a team fight, the Silas is just pretty much unkillable right there.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is looking like what they want to do. He will be having good ultimates to select from this time, unlike he did in game 1 where he had nothing. But again, the Tristana getting locked in for Potato Monster. He doesn't want to die on this hill. He wants to come up victorious on top of it. He really does love his Tristana. The Leona bans coming in from NTO, while matched by the Vex ban from Old Gods. They do ban out the Rise as well. Was pretty crucial in the last match, so that was another targeted at the mid laner of NTO. Love to see what he does pick out over here. The LeBlanc is open. There are a couple of picks that you can dominate against the Silas with. The Braum again getting banned out from NTO. So 2 support bans in second phase of banning. They really want to limit the things that Tristana can work with in that bot lane over there.
And they end up going for the Tristana yet again. I'm not too sure about that. They did see in the second game how hit or miss that it could be, while in the first game Potato Monster did end up doing a lot of damage, but the same could be said in second game where he was not able to provide any sort of influence. And this time he is backing his Tristana up, though. I mean, this man has probably played more Tristana than all of League of Legends India combined, so I don't fault him that much for picking up his comfort champion yet again, and along with the Nautilus it's gonna be pretty strong as well. And they have a good mix of I was about to say good mix of damage, but I saw the Gwen. So the Gwen, Silas, very AP heavy right there. So this Tristana really needs to be relevant, because if the Tristana falls back, suddenly NTO just builds a buttload of magic resist and then they just refuse to die. And the combination coming out by NTO right there, Yasuo, Wukong along with the Alistar, so many knockups, allowing this Yasuo to just jump into fights and get his ult onto multiple people. I like that pick coming on right there by Lanebun for the jungle Wukong.
Yeah, absolutely. It does seem like they have a pretty solid comp on that side. It is being answered by a Graves jungle from the side of Old God. So they're going for more of a burst type of comp over there. So yeah, as you said, the Silas can steal the Alistar ult, get in there, be very tanky in these team fights, can do a lot. Wukong ult, not even a bad option to also steal as well. But yeah, all in all, NTO have drafted around this Yasuo as well with the Alistar knockup, the Wukong ultimate, just a lot of knockups that this Yasuo can trigger his ultimate off of. So very interesting to see that they have changed it up to focus more on the mid laner this time instead of the top side, right? The Mord will be facing the Gwen over there. We have seen Zuko's Gwen once already in this series. He did not seem that impressive. He did fall behind a bit, but that was to the Darius, which is banned right now. So maybe he has a better laning phase as well. Maybe he can not fall behind and let his team give him that opportunity to catch up. So he will be looking for those kind of plays. And all in all, Fiverr, which side are you preferring this draft? Because I'm preferring NTO side.
I mean, yeah, it does feel like NTO has the better drafts because of the teamfight combos that they have in themselves, and the Wukong, Alistar with the Misfortune, and adding the Yasuo into the mix. Boy, that's a lot of damage and a lot of knockups there for the Yasuo to work off of. But then yet again, Gwen is just a very BS champion. I do not like the champion at all. It's just so hard to deal with her if she gets ahead. Does so much damage, true damage, heals for entirety of her HP bar, is a tank shredder like none other. And if Zuko knows what he's doing, he can just solo carry this game. Not even an Alistar can stand in front of that Gwen and her pair of scissors. And W again with the Alistar ults in teamfight should be pretty relevant there for himself. Tristana is again gonna be the talk of the town, and let's see if Potato Monster this time is able to change it up from what he had to deal with in the second game, and hopefully this time he can provide more damage to his team.
Yeah, definitely. This is the third game in a row he's been picking this Tristana. It has a, because of the last loss, of 50% win rate. He's looking to make this in his favor, make it around 66.66 if he wins this. So he will be honestly looking to redeem himself from that last match, right? Make sure that he shows why he's known for his Tristana as well. did not opt to change his ADC in this matchup, so he is pretty confident in this matchup in the bot lane because you already seen that the MF and Alistar were locked in against him, so he knows what he was going to have to deal with at the end of the day. Once again, this Yasuo will be pretty dominant. He will be looking to be making the plays alongside the ultimates of the Wu and the knockups of the Alistar. So all in all, really, NT are just looking for more of those team fight kind of scenarios and getting aggressive very, very early on, not letting either of this Gwen or this Tristana to scale up over here, Fireball.
Yeah, and like we saw, Dronzer has a very aggressive playstyle as well in the previous game with this Alistar, and the last time he had the Ezreal, who was not just able to follow that much up in the lane plays at least, but this time the misfortune with the Alistar can be really, really aggressive. So Potato Monster needs to be very careful, hold his W for the Alistar combos. The Nautilus can buffer his Q as well, but this should be fine. But that's what we expected of them in the previous game as well, and they were not fine. They ended up dying in lane multiple times. So my eyes on the side of NTO would be at this bot lane, because I have high hopes with this Alistar Misfortune combo. And in the team fights, it's just all gonna be about the Wukong and the Yasuo, and let's see what they can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to see what goes down. But as we said, on paper, NTO does look a bit stronger about what they can do. But you actually never know what happens in the matchups, because they had a game plan last time for the side of OGs, didn't work out. It's all about who gets those early aggressions, get those early objectives, and what it does lead to. Last time, OGs were even ahead, and they managed to throw that lead. So they're honestly not looking to be doing that, because both matches they have been looking very strong early on, but they just could not finish it or close it up in the last game. I'm pretty sure that is haunting and it's on their mind, and they will be looking to go all out here and give up no opportunities for NTO to actually come back in a game if they do manage to get ahead.
Yeah, and NTO, they do take their chances pretty well, and they do not allow any sort of comeback from the oppositions. And they did that pretty much in the second game. We have loaded into the Summoner's Rift, but there is a quick pause. We will be trying to figure out what the issue is currently, and hopefully it's not a long pause, because I'm pretty sure both the teams will be itching to get this game started and done with. It is the final game of this series, and the ticket to grand finals is on the line, and the pause is done. We will be jumping into the game, and level 1 looks like NTO are grouping up as 5 members in the bot side, but Old Gods are just gonna be holding their line and not going for any sort of an engage.
Yeah, this is because also in game 1, NTO did the same kind of strategy. Instead of this Triburst, they were sitting in the bush right outside the red buff, and they did manage to burn the flash of the jungler of OG on that equation. So they know that NTO does like to really group up in these early exchanges, so they are very aware of that. That Graves is looking to put down maybe an early ward. He's just little by little inching his way over there. He's being very, very precarious about his situation, and this is the push that I was talking about where they had grouped up last time. The Mord has back and will be heading up to his top lane side, so it doesn't look like their efforts of grouping up this time will result in anything. And yeah, that Graves does manage to put that ward over to the blue buff of NTO, so he will be knowing that Wukong is starting his red side over here, and they will be both moving the opposite side directions in the map, right? From Wukong from bot to top, Graves from top to bottom. So it looks like the priority of the top lane will be for this Wukong later on. But this matchup in the mid lane is where I just want to watch out who will be actually coming out on top before any of these wombo combo situations do happen in the team fights. Where all about the laning phase early on. The Silas is going in, but only managing to burn the passive shield of the Yasuo in that exchange. Over here, Gracias gets that route onto the Alistar, but he's gonna walk away from it without anything going on with him.
Pretty much anime characters going up against each other in the mid lane, Silas and the Yasuo. Always fun to watch those two, very flashy right there. And the level 2 push is actually pretty even in the bot lane. You would expect the Nautilus and the Tristana to get the out push because of the Tristana passive, but Misfortune and Alza do end up getting level 2 before Tristana and Nautilus and will push them into their turrets for the third wave, is what I'm assuming. In the mid lane though, the trading will continue, both those mid laners at half HP, but smartly the Misfortune and Alistar decide to keep the wave towards themselves so that Alistar can look for some sort of an engage.
Yeah, absolutely. Keeping the wave pretty much in the same spot provide makes that Tristan also very wary about if he can walk up, and is denying a bunch of CS also to him. In the meantime, in the mid lane, Silas again popping his second health part, but he's going in over here for the exchange. The windmill from the Yas making the Silas walk back over there. But look in the jungle side. Look how deep this Graves has gone in. He has pushed this Wukong so far behind over there. And there was almost a follow from the Gwen as well. Wukong thinks better of it. He does fall away all the back. Finally, with this wave built up pretty much in the bot side, they are pushing this wave in under the turret. Going to deny even more CS for the Tristan unless she CSs perfectly as well. In the top side, the Gwen pushing more towards his own turret, and only on equal standing is this mid. But this Silas is looking pretty low on HP and low on CS as well, and he doesn't have any more health pots, Fireball.
The Silas now struggling a little bit against, especially because of the grasp of the Undying that this Yasuo has. He just dashes in, uses the Q to get a stack like that and get some damage on. But the Graves is here, will force the flash out of Simp1 in the mid lane, and at least a small victory there. But the Silas needs to be careful staying near the minions at that HP. The Yasuo can think of some ideas with his E, but decides to channel his recall now. Good gank there by the Graves, just his presence was enough to force the flash at least out of the mid laner.
Yeah, absolutely, and Flash Burn means a very good gank later on if he does go for it. Zugo channeling his W over here is still eating it up pretty much. He is now being bullied in the opposite direction that we saw in the beginning side of the map. The Graves is in his bot side taking his own Gromp, and he will be maybe looking to make a gank on the bot side players because of how further up push they are right now. He is moving towards that tri-push right now. The Alistar goes in at a very inconvenient time given that the Graves is so close by the smoke screen from the Graves. The jump in from the Tristana, and I think that's a very dead MF, but the Nautilus goes down early on. But he jumps in, he gets the reset, but he gets knocked right into the turret and will be going down. And that's a 2-for-1 in favor of NTO, right? And that is a dead Nautilus, even though the Wukong wasn't there then, Fireball.
Yeah, Misfortune completely turns it around, and holding that thought, they are still going on to the Graves and they will pick up the third kill as well. So the gank was there but completely countered by the Wukong, and very well played there by Digita to kite back and get the Q auto combo off at the last second to pick up the kill for himself. So both the ADCs on 1 kill each, but this Wukong got 2 kills and he is feeling very strong, and they have now started up this Hex Deck Dragon.
Yeah, and because of that, because of the resultant kills, they will be getting the first dragon to themselves. Grubs still haven't spawned, so they can even make for a move for that afterwards. After this, the Alistar probably goes for the back. Potato Monster is already back in lane, and by the time the Indica comes here, he sees the Dragon Stone. But look at this, it's a play onto the Wukong over here. He does clone forward, but the Silas is there as well, forcing the flash from lane 1 across the wall, just about surviving that fight and that hidden engage from the jungler and the bot of the support of OG. The flash is now currently burned for lane 1, and this probably opens up opportunities for Indica to grab the grubs all for himself, given that lane 1 is still in the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, now both the ADCs did pick up their pickaxes. There's an extra long sword in the inventory for the Misfortune, but still should be dependent on the level 6, I guess. Whichever support gets the better engage, that ADC should be doing the most of the damage. Both Nautilus and Alistar have pretty scary engages. Now the grubs have been started up by the Graves after he got Wukong flash like you mentioned, and all 3 of them should be going pretty easily towards the side of the OGs, as the Wukong is hovering in the bot side because Nautilus does not have the flash or the exhaust. Tristana, hard to gank, has the W and can buffer all of the CC with that ability, and does have the flash as well, so Wukong not getting anything out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And after that, also the grubs getting picked up now by the Graves because the Wu had burnt his flash. Nautilus is here for that nice gank from the bot side, but I don't think it's going to result in much. Excellent windfall, but the resultant hook back in will result in the death of the Yasuo in the mid lane. That's a very dead Yasuo. An excellent re-engage by Gracias over there. Wins the kill for his team and gets his Silas 1-0 up on the Yasuo.
So I was just wondering why W is pathing backwards when they have the man advantage. So W had stolen the Yasuo ultimate. He was just waiting for the Nautilus to connect his Q. And as soon as he did that, well, Yasuo got Yasuo ultimated, and very well played there by W and Gracias to get a kill onto the mid lane. And right as when it was looking like a Yasuo is bullying this Sinus a lot, and now in the top lane Indica will gank there as well. Sekiro will take the Gwen into the death realm at least to try to make it a 1v1, and will end up surviving as he just walks to his turret. Well played there by Sekiro to hold his ultimate and saves himself from a gank right there, and forcing Zuko to use his ghost as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's now some advantage for him for the next fight over there. Well played by him. He does see from the side vision that the jungler Graves is nearby. Uses that ult to buy himself time before he makes his swift exit. Gets that shield up as well. So no way of engage onto him. Alistair just throwing Nautilus under his own turret over there. Sim going a bit aggressive over here as well. Gets the tornado hit onto Silas. He's having a fun time in the mid lane, around 16 CS up at this moment, and continues exchange. Gets the grass proc as well with that last Q that he did hit. Tornado does miss over there, but the subsequent chains also missing from WU. He is trying to go a bit aggressive, but Sim does unfortunately get hit by one of those tower shots, so we'll make this exchange even more worthwhile if it does continue on. The Great is also close by. Just pick up the bottom side. Scuttle to his own name will be starting on his own blue buff. So it has relatively slowed down over here. The drag will be up at 1 minute 16 seconds time. If anybody does look to make an appearance for it, it will be a mountain drake. So neither the Hextech, neither the mountain will be the source for this matchup, given how it has been going on, Fiber.
Yeah, so 10 minutes into the game, it's 3 kills to 2 in favor of NTO. NTO are in a 900 gold lead, very minute at this point of the game. The CS numbers are looking good all around for NTO. OG's laners are struggling with the CS numbers a bit, just behind all around. Great combination coming there for the Yasuo ultimate, but it is not going to be enough to get a kill. Let's see if he can survive that. No, the Graves ultimate will secure that kill. Wukong is trying to save himself as much as he can, but now Purido Monster, let's see if he gets caught. The stun will connect, but he had buffered the W now with the flash. Just very well played there by Purido Monster. Uses up the flash of the Misfortune, the exhaust of the Alistar, the flash of the Alistar, and the ultimates from both of them, and he ends up surviving there as well. So good job on surviving, and will just walk back into the lane to pick up the XP from the minions as well.
Yeah, well played by him. He does end up burning his own flash and berry at the same time, but hey, he did manage to walk out of it without dying. Will be making it back into lane safely, and against the 1v2, that's a very deadly combo to be facing up against. The tornado is up from the Yasuo, looking to put some more damage onto W. Does connect over there, and look at Sekiro being a bully towards this Gwen. He is up a lot of CS right now, around 20 CS up on the Gwen, so he's having a fun time in the top lane. In the jungle, a bit of a differential in terms of CS, with Graves being up around 10 or 11 CS to his own name. In the mid, if we talk about it, this is Yas, who continues to maintain that cool lead of around 16 CS, around 18 CS to his own. So he is bullying this. So there's about a bunch of CS all in the favor of NTO right now, and that's where a lot of the gold is as well, given that the score is 3-3 in terms of kills. And the first Drake also went over to NTO. The 3 Grubs went over to OG. So then this next Drake will also go into NTO's hand, which will accelerate them in the terms of Dragon objective. But you can see the top side, all grubs over there will be starting to be taken over by the side of OG. So they will have 6 grubs, which will give them the added bonus as well. But the fight is breaking out over here, Fireball.
NTO do not want to give those grubs up for free. Knockup connects only onto the Nautilus, so Yasuo deciding to hold on to his ultimate for now. Now the Death Realm fight will begin with the Gwen. Sekiro should be able to take down this level 9 Gwen pretty easily. But Gwen actually managing to survive, just kitering around the wall and running away. So they do not lose any members and they ended up picking 2 grubs. So 4 is what all they wanted. 1 is a bonus. 5 grubs to 1, and OG should be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Given that they picked up the own Drake for themselves and prevent NTO picks up the Drake, they don't get all 6 grubs, which would have given that a bit more added bonus for OG. But hey, at the end of the day, they are enjoying what goes on. The fight, the Gwen does have to burn the Ghost again to run away. He's getting his wave a bit demolished over here, so when he walks up again back to his top side, he won't be having anything. The TP instead coming from the Silas, and Dranzer's waiting for this as well. Look at this, the wave is chalked down. They might look to dive over here, but I think once they see that it's the Silas and not the Gwen, they are thinking better of it, given that the Silas does still have that stolen Yasuo ultimate in his hand. The Gwen is now moving over to the mid lane side to match it up over there against the Yas. But in the bot side, it looks like a dive is being set up, and then NMF maybe suspecting some of this after seeing all them walking over the ward, obviously has to clear that wave with the ultimate. It's a very good decision making by the NMF over there, Fireball.
Yeah, just sensing that the support and the jungler are not visible for a long time, and a big wave was crashing into her turret as well. Was not having any of that, just uses the ult to clear away the wave and take away any threat of the dive. Well played there by Digita, and now will pick up the wave coming into his own turret. Again, is doing very well for himself, has completed the collector, will farm up towards that second item, which I think is going to be the BT. Now the W is being used, no flash onto the Tristana, the exhaust is used as well, no ult available for the Misfortune though. Alistar going in too ham, ends up giving the kill to the Tristana. They were not able to secure the kill themselves because of the barrier of Potato Monster, and somehow Potato Monster survives yet again 2v1, and this time gets a kill of his own.
Yeah, and he didn't have flash together scenario, only have to burn the barrier right now. The only thing summoner available to him, gets his kill, gets that W reset, does jump away. Mord did TP down to the bot side to maybe cover up for the fight with the MF to survive. But the MF will go down anyway. As soon as the Mord leaves over there, they realize the advantage that OG have right there, and they do take it over, and the kill going over to the Graves. At the same time, the Mord is just walking up top side, and now the Silas is starting to look a bit deadly against the Yas. Yas does EQ Tornado into him, gets the ultimate trigger. The Wukong is also close by. Wukong goes in ultimates, gets his own knock-up onto it, and the Graves is going to be here, maybe for a Pitten's kill. But no, that is going to be the Graves going down as well. So an excellent turnaround from NTO in that mid lane fight over there, Fireball.
The amount of CC that the Alistar, Wukong and Yasuo provide is just insane. The Graves came in maybe just looking to help the Silas out, but once he started getting CC locked, there was just no surviving. The knockups, the stun coming out from Wukong, Alistar. If you just look at the replay of this fight, once the Graves walks in, it's just game over, lights out for him, and this is the threat that NQ have. This is the team fight composition that they have built up, and it is looking scary. But in the meantime, bot lane, we saw Potato Monster pick up a kill onto the MF. This time they were able to gag
but in picture.
Fail flash a little bit for the Nautilus, so 1 kill traded back at least for the Yasuo. Oh, but still, Misfortune is gonna be missing out on a big wave, and Potato Monster showing us why his Tristana pick, even though not advisable, is working for him.
Yeah, absolutely. A bit of a oopsie there from the Nautilus with that failed flash over. The Gwen is setting up a trap for herself. Thinks she can take this Mord down pretty easily 1v1 with the W trigger. Doesn't get pulled back by the Mord. In the meantime, in the mid lane, they are fighting a lot, but the Yas is considerably up in CS, making from that 16 CS lead that he earlier on had to now a 30 CS lead, almost doubling that lead in the bot lane, dead even in CS numbers between the ADCs. And once again in the jungle, around 16 CS up is the Graves, so he's having a gala of a time, the only one in his team actually up in CS, according to the opposite lane facing him. The Mord is also still hammering away, even though we saw that he did run away from that fight. He is technically the one who should be more fed than the Gwen, but the Gwen does scale ridiculously well as time goes on. Our third Drake of the match is live, and I think some fights will be looking towards this. The Gwen does have TP, while the Mord does not have TP for this next fight, mind you. So if a fight does break out over here, the Mord won't be here for availability. So this will be a very interesting time for OG to actually use this to their advantage. But the Graves is currently in the jungle of the blue side. He is taking that own blue buff for himself. Now will be taking the Gromp as well over there. So there's an opportunity for the Wukong instead to take this Drake if he does realize where the Graves is.
Yeah, but the bot lane does not have priority at all. They would want to push away the Tristana and the Nautilus before starting up this dragon at least. Now they saw the Tristana and Nautilus back away a little bit, and this time they will start up the dragon. Now they will spot out the Graves on the top side as well. So this should be a pretty free dragon for them, but Sekiro taking a lot of damage in his own death realm and will be going down pretty soon. He's just trying to delay the inevitable, and this is what I was talking about. The Rift Maker Gwen comes in and is just doing so much damage, and the sustain that comes out as well. Potato Monster forcing the barrier out of the Misfortune, and Digita actually starting to struggle little bit in this game though.
Yeah, absolutely. And while he did take the Gwen Tetram, he did take most of the damage as well. So Indica coming up was just a good chance as well. The Graves didn't help the Gwen secure the kill to her own self. But on the bot side, they do see that they had already started the Drake before they had seen the Graves on any markers or any wards over there. But yeah, once they see that they are confident to take this third Drake, so now they're one step closer to that Chemtech Soul for themselves. So this is looking like they want to get all these 4 souls right about the 23-minute mark, in my opinion. So they are looking for a very early soul for themselves, and they are looking to run away with it that well. But Potato Monster going very aggressive again in the bottle. It does W forward, does get the reset after his Q does knock up onto that Misfortune, does jump out as will he wants. Dronzer seems to have disconnected over here, so we will be having a slight pause as well. Wukong has currently picked up his red buff. The pause has been removed. We did see the reconnection as well. Silas is still fighting against this Yas in the mid lane, but the CS difference has not been narrowed at all in any way whatsoever. The Graves is increasing his own CS lead on the Wukong, but look how fed this Wukong is. This man is 4-0-0 right now, so lane burn is going to be very strong in these team fights. And now this is the point of the match where we're going to see these combos of the Wukong, the MF, the Yasuo, and the Alistar, and it's going to change so many faces of these fights.
Yeah, but ideally they would have wanted their carries to be at least 2 items by 21-22 minutes. It does not look like that is going to be the case for the Yasuo and the Misfortune at least. And most of the team fight power comes from those champions, and if they do not have the required items, it's going to be hard to kill the Silas. Again, have to remind you, Silas is going to be stealing the Alistar ultimate and is going to take a lot of damage to actually kill him.
Yeah, definitely. Alistar having to trigger his old ultimate to get out of that ambush on him while he was going to try to go for some vision, so that he just walks out without his ultimate for that next fight. It'll probably come up before they actually do go for any engages. Gracias just staying in that follow war, not letting them know that he is close by. The Rift Herald is being put down by the members of NTO onto this mid turret, and the MF smartly using her ultimate to clear the entire wave. So this Rift Herald will not be doing much as of yet that they wanted, because they did not understand that there were so many members of OG nearby. Rift Herald does go down, and the top side you see the Mord pushing the Gwen underneath her own turret. But if you can see the screen, Indica is walking up again, and this is like deja vu, a repeat of what has happened yet again and again. Zuko getting the Mord down pretty low, gets into the ultimate, but you can see that two TPs being channeled over here from the Sylas and the Yasuo, and it is a complete PS at the top side. Sekiro does go down before the MF even has to trigger her ultimate. Lane burn is here as well. They are looking for ingredients, but with that Mord dead, they don't think better of it. In the meantime, Potato Monster putting some damage on this mid-tier 1 turret for himself. Remind you, he is a Tristana, so he will be melting a lot of these turrets early on, especially now that he has 5 grubs to his name. The Alice are putting the exhaust just to make sure that Tristana cannot get the turret, and Tristana still gets the turret over there, Fireball.
Yikes. Is all I can say for that. Poor Alistar trying everything in his power to stop this Tristana from taking down his mid lane turret, but he did not have any support, and a valiant effort is what I'm gonna say. And still, Potato Monster feeling pretty good, is working towards that Infinity Edge. I think he should have that on this recall. And yeah, there you go. Collector Infinity Edge Berserker Creep completed on the Tristana. And now this champion is very, very scary. The resets are gonna be there. I think the burst is enough to kill almost anyone from the side of NTO. And the second items from the top lane and mid laner should be coming in as well. The gold difference is not that much, but it is very significant when you see the item differences.
Yeah, absolutely, and this Drake is also spawning pretty soon. So this is where the fights should be taking place. NTO can be elect maybe to give up their soul Drake towards OG, because they have such a huge lead in the Drake's department, just take the Baron for themselves. And this is where some of the macro does come into play from both teams with these kind of decisions on the mark. Gracias going in on the Wukong, manages to land the hook, and a team fight completely breaking out of the TP is being channeled in by the Mordekaiser. He does make it in time over here. The Gwen getting Yasuo ulted in the background will be going down, but no, just survives. The Wukong does end up taking him down, so it's the Wu and the Gwen, the Yas and the Gwen down in the fight. Lane Bird will be looking to fall as well. That is, yes, the Wukong is dead, the Yasuo is dead, and the Gwen is dead. In this fight, it just completely breaks out, and they're all started with that hook, excellent hook from the side of Gracias, and now the Mord is being chased around. He does not have ultimate with any of these champions in the Death Realm, so he will also be going down, and OG look to secure their first Drake of the match.
Massive team fight coming on there by the side of OGs. They get 3 kills and lose just the 1. Tristana gets 2 kills for herself there as well, and even getting more fed than already she was. And Potato Monster is bringing out his A game on this final game of the best of 3 series in the semi-finals, and he does not want to go back from this tournament at this stage. He wants to play in the grand finals, and he is leading by example in this one.
Yeah, absolutely is being a menace, an absolute menace over here, showing what can be done, but this does delay that soul point. We just see that replay. This is where that long hook from Gracias does hit onto the Wukong. The Gwen does come in. The Mordekaiser is already channeling his TP. The MF trying to ult, get some damage, but honestly hitting almost no members of OG at the same time. Gwen will be getting the Yas. He does go down to the Wu. The Wu is trying to spin to Wit over there, trying to get as many knockups, but he's left alone by the rest of his team. And now this Mord is on the wrong side of the map, just tries to walk away and does get put down into a grave. And look at this, the Alice are getting caught out over here. Will be able to walk out because OG, recognizing that the other members of NTO are nearby, are opting not to actually go for anything serious over there.
Yeah, you saw in the previous team fight as well. W had stolen the Alistar ultimate, and he was in the middle of 3 members fighting for such a long time, and once the fight got over, he was still full HP. So that's how broken it is for a Sylas to have the Alistar ultimate, and it showed in that previous fight. And suddenly, this game is slowly moving away from the grasps of NTO. It is looking very dicey, because the Tristana is getting 2 fed, the Sylas is doing pretty good for himself, the Graves has completed 2.5 items, the Gwen has completed the Nashor's Tooth, and NTO, they need to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. In the top side, you see that W has stolen the Mordekaiser out just to maybe challenge him over there. And the Wukong just camping in this bush looking for his next prey as it may be. But W is walking into Sekiro. The Nautilus is also coming for backup as well. Both ultimates getting triggered down from both those champions. But once Sekiro comes out of this and the stasis from the Silas does save him, but there's the backup, here's the Nautilus, and here's the Wukong, and that is enough to persuade the members of OG to back out from that fight. In the meantime, in the bot side, you do see that the Gwen and Yas are going in. The Gwen is now TPing into this fight over here. That seems like a very dead combo because the Wukong is being left to his own devices. He has no one to actually protect him, but the Silas is sacrificed instead for the Wukong. And now with the hook onto the Alistar goes down. It looks like a pretty much dead Yasuo as well. MF is trying to channel her out, but Potato Monster is right there to persuade her to run away, and she has nothing to run. And you are chasing down that poor gal towards her death, and this will be a Baron for OG.
Such a very well played team fight for the side of OGs. The Wukong had jumped onto the backside, but the damage was not there. They did manage to pick up Silas, but by that time the entire team of OGs had arrived, and just how ahead they are in terms of items and gold, it did not matter. And nicely they will wait out the Baron so that all 5 members get it as well. Now Baron up on 5 members for the side of OGs and NTO. Is this the beginning of the end?
Yeah, absolutely. OG playing that fight to perfection. Potato Monster just making time to even prevent the MF ult from doing anything because he was chasing MF off our screen. But at the end of the time, you saw the MF also goes down as well. So the MF definitely not having the best of time throughout this entire matchup. She is not getting her Rs that she did want to, and we aren't seeing the combos that we did want with the Wukong, the Yas, and the Alistar, right? In this fight, they put the Silas as a sacrificial lamb where most of the members of NTO were focusing on, while in the meantime, they were taking down the other members in the backside of that fight from OG, right? They were taking so many people down. So by the time the Silas is done and they're done with the Silas, they realize that they don't have much that can actually be done in that fight, and they do go down before they even realize what has happened to them, and the MF is just left by herself. She falls as well to the green screen, and it just looks like they're setting up for the next trip for themselves. So this is quite a good comeback from OG given how far they were behind on Drakes as well. They're about to make the second Drake to the name. I don't think NTO actually wants to even fight for this. Maybe the Wukong attempts for a steal over here, Fireball. That's about all I can see happen.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he can go for the steal because it is the soul, so it is worth the try, I guess. But other than that, I don't think they should be investing any more members because there is no way they are in any position to team fight 5v5 against the members of OG right now. And that is a very scary statement for NTO because their entire composition they have built is around team fighting, and suddenly they do not have the facilities to do exactly that. Now what do they do then?
Yeah, absolutely. They're gonna have to rethink what they want, or at least let their carries get to a position where they do damage, right? So 1-4-4 Yasuo, 1-4-3 MF. Nothing much can be done. A bit of a miss from the Alistar, but they're not doing much. This Yasuo is trying to defend his turret. The TP is coming in from the Mord, but gets interrupted by the Silas, and he might end up paying with his life for that. He has stolen the Alistar ultimate, so he can pretty much walk away from it as well. So that's the TP being cancelled and the Silas walking away. Nothing that can actually be done to him once he steals that Alistar ultimate. And look at this, Wukong putting a trap onto Potato Monster. That's the wombo combo we're talking about. Potato Monster flashes forward first, then W's away, has a barrier, but does go down to the smite hit of the Wukong onto him. So an excellent engage from the Wukong, realizing how Potato Monster will try to be running out of that fight.
Yeah, but still, both Wukong and Yasuo had to use their ultimates and the flash. Big shutdown going over towards the pockets of Wukong there. Would have been nicer if it went to the Yasuo, but hey, the shutdown is a shutdown. Wukong will pick up a nice pickaxe in a tunnel for his troubles right there. And look at Potato Monster's inventory. If you are anyone from NTO and you look at that, you start to feel a little scared, especially when your own misfortune just has the collector and the hubris of all things.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very scary situation. This is where Potato Monster wanted to be last game. Honestly, if he was in this kind of position, it would maybe been a different outcome. Now that he's been accelerated so much, the goal lead is 6.2k difference as well. They are managing to catch up in dragon numbers. It's 3-2 in favor of NTO, but NTO hasn't managed to get the last two drakes. They are being shut down from objectives now, and they realize even though they had built this comp for team fighting, the carries don't have the damage they want in these team fights. So there's nothing they can do except go for those pickoffs like the Wukong did onto the Tristana or Potato Monster. That's about all they can actually manage at this time. We do have a pause in the game. It seems that we will also be resuming as well, so no worries, folks. We don't keep delays too long in this tournament, hopefully. And I just can't wait
We
to
all
see
know
what
that's
they
a
can
lie.
actually. Oh my God, no Fireball. We don't speak our shit like that. But yes, okay, that does happen from time to time. I just can't wait to see what happens next drag fight, right? It just depends on what will happen around that, or if OG wants to go for the end and maybe bait the dragon fight and try to go for something else, Fireball.
They will be looking to fight towards the Baron. I think they have to, right? They don't have any other options. If this OG side get the Baron at this point of the game, they can just end up pushing multiple lanes at once, and I don't think NTO can answer to that. They don't have the best of wave clears as well, so they absolutely cannot afford to lose the Baron for free. They have 1.5 minutes to farm up, get those items for that fight, and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's all they can actually do. They have to just get those farm numbers up, get some more gold in the pockets of their carries. Otherwise, I don't understand what will happen. I think the game will end around 2 minutes time if OG continues for this pressure. They are looking towards that top side and maybe going to hit onto this Mordecai. The Graves is already here. The smoke screen right onto him. And that Mord is going to be going down probably before he can even channel anything for himself. And that's a very dead Mordekaiser in the top lane, and that opens up the turret also for themselves. But instead they are moving towards the mid side, and the Gwen is already pushing the bot lane for himself. He will be getting the tier 2 for himself while they get the tier 2 in the top lane. So this is just excellent macro play as well after catching out that more. The Wukong is going in, is ultimating over here. The Yasuo does channel with it. The MF ult does also come in, but W has stolen the Alistar ult. You can't kill this man right now. And it's going to be completely turned on the heads of NTO. They are going down one by one. There goes the Yasuo, there goes the Wukong, there goes the MF, there goes the Alistar. And that is a complete wipe of the members of NTO. A clean ace coming out from OG. And this is a statement coming out from these members. And they are looking to end the game right here, Fireball.
Well, you saw the power of the Alistar ulted Silas. Man's jumping in the backline between 4 members of NTO, and he escapes with full HP, and finally Potato Monster and Go will secure the final game of this series and will go up 2-1 in the series. Unfortunately for NTO, this is gonna be the end for them, and well played to reach till the semi-finals, and hopefully they can come back stronger in the next one and go further ahead. But for the old gods, it's all about the grand finals now. Their eyes set, which is gonna be played tomorrow, the best of 5, and they had a hiccup. NTO did take 1 game away from old gods. Pretty sure old gods would not have liked that, and they will be looking to clean up their game even more before the grand finals. But for now, it's celebration time. They have won the semi-finals, and let's hope that they come back stronger in the grand finals, polishing up their game even more. And we have a banger of a grand finals tomorrow. Let's have a look at the crucial moments of this game though.
And yeah, we do have a bunch, especially in the early on fights, right? Over here, you see the Alistar does go into him, but you see the jungler is here Indica, but this is where it can turn around. The MF does walk away, does get the Q auto onto the Nautilus, will be going down in this fight, but that's just a nice headbutt from the Alistar, knocking the Tristana underneath his own turret, so that the Tristana going down, and then the follow-up catch-up onto Indica over here. This Alistar was relentless in the the beginning amounts of this fight. And this is where it looked like NTO was in the driver's seat quite a bit. But then with another hook in the mid lane, the Silas stolen ultimate of the Yas gets a kill onto the Yasuo. That's another kill in their pockets. Another type of fight over here, you see that Yas does get away, but the Graves is there to follow up. Just a nice ultimate from his side. The Wukong just about running away with his life at the end of the day. And this is where Potato Monster shows how to actually do a 1v2 quite properly. Keeps that barrier, gets it pop last second, does get the kill on the Alistar, does get away. And this MF honestly had probably one of the worst games of her life, given how she was being bullied across the map. She never had a pretty decent Rs in any fights, and one R in that last fight she did have was onto an Alistar ulted W over their Fireball.
Yeah, and we'll have a look at Potato Monster now. He will get dove so many times in the bot lane, but he will end up surviving most of the dives and end up getting a kill for himself as well. So he made sure that he kept himself alive and safe even after the consistent pressure by the Alistar and the misfortune, but it was not enough to take down Potato Monster's Indian famous Tristana, the one trick Tristana prodigy. And well, we all were doubting this pick in the second game, but he was like, nope, let me just show you how it's done, and picked it up yet again in the third game. Had a massive performance on that. And we saw the Silas as well, just running around in these team fights without any care of anything in the world with the Alistar ultimate. That is just broken, and as soon as you see the Alistar, you can just always lock in Silas in your solo queue games as well if you want to get a free win. And after that, once NTO got little behind, their teamfight composition just fell apart because their champions did not have any damage, and whatever they were trying to do was just not working because of the sheer amount of item differential between OGs and NTO.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Tristana was so far ahead in itemization as well. As for the rest of her members, there was nothing that NTO could actually do. They just knew that they put the Mordekaiser out of the fights. They can't do anything. This was one attempt by NTO to actually get a kill here. They do manage to get into Potato Monster, but as you said then, the Wukong ult burn, the Yas ult burn, plus the Wu Flash just to get the Tristana as well. And this is where it all goes down. They think they have a pick on to the Silas, but he has a stolen Alistar up in his pocket. He does pop that, doesn't get popped himself, and one by one the members of OG fall over here, of NTO fall over here. That leads OG to win this series 2-1 in the semifinals, and they will be facing SOV in the grand finals tomorrow.
Yeah, and GG to the old gods, securing their place in the grand finals tomorrow. Looking at the match summary real quick, 33 minutes is what it took for the old gods to completely dissect down NTO. Very systemic game coming out this time. They got the Baron, got the Void Grubs as well, had 2 dragons to their names, took down 9 turrets, lost only 3, ended the game with a 12,000 goal advantage and a 12 kill advantage. So very well played there by the OGs. Potato Monster rallying his team behind him, leading by example. And let's look at who the crucial MVP of this game is going to be, and I will be very surprised if it is anyone other than the team captain himself, Potato Monster, my man in the bot lane with his Tristana pick while everyone was doubting him. Well, I'm guilty for that as well. I was not liking this Tristana pick. And he did suffer in the Ezreal game, the second game, but he just brought it back in the third when he's like, let me show you why I have like 35 million points on this champion. And going 9-2-1, just refusing to die even when he got dove, refusing to give up, dished out so much damage towards the end, got those resets, trying to survive in those team fights, and just overall very well played by Potato Monster and his Tristana.
Yeah, absolutely. Putting that MF completely FB, keep doing those twice he did a 1v2 in the bot side. When one he just gets away, second time he gets the kill on the Alistar before getting away as well. So just excellent laning from this man, and he just made this Yordle work to wonders. This Tristana was popping off. Even in team fights, he was keeping a lot of this MF at bay. This MF could not even channel her ult for too long. She didn't want to fall to the Tristana, so she had to once even cancel it and just run away, and even still ends up falling to the Tristana. So all in all, an excellent performance by this man. All 3 games he played Tristana, won 2, lost 1. So overall, a win, a check mark in my books for the way he's played, and we probably look forward to some of his Tristana for tomorrow as well, Fireball.
Yeah, tomorrow in the grand finals, best of 5, like you mentioned, against SOV Syndicate of Vengeance, who reached in the grand finals. That series going 2-1 as well against Ace Phoenix. So both of these teams dropping a single game in the semi-finals. So it's gonna be pretty neck to neck in the grand finals. I'm hoping we do get treated to a 5-game banger. Again, this is Crucial by Micron, SKplz Community Clash, powered by Zotac. Make sure you check out all the links in the description below to see all the amazing products that Crucial and Zotac have on offer for you. Make sure that you subscribe to our socials to be up to date with the upcoming tournaments and relevant news. And make sure you do tune in tomorrow for the grand finals of the SKplz Community Clash. That's it for us. It was a pleasure casting with you, Madness. It's me, Fireball, and we are signing off.
When are you gonna upgrade your system? Alright, let's do this.
Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 mega transfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 mega transfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X 3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the Crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.
You were right, Kate. My sister is gone. There's only Jinx now.
I want to tear that laugh from her throat forever.
I'm ready.
return peace to this city, you must declare martial law.
Topside is the real enemy. You have the chance to rally the Undercity together. Your symbol. So what are you planning?
Watch it all burn.
You felt it, haven't you?
The arcane is waking up.
Sometimes taking a leap forward means leaving a few things behind.
This has to end.
Then stop me.
Taking my stack back cause I want that and I get what I want. Whatever the price tag, I'ma pull it up and be gone in a minute. I want something up on a chain with a little ice on it. Here's a little advice for you. No one ever is nice to you unless the price is right. What? I wanna cash out, take a stack out, hit a check in the morning. Riding the waves, making them waves, no time for crying and mourning. Going in the place, catch of the day, just got this morning. Taking my time, you'll be amazed. Yeah, I got it. Nonsense, got my conscience on a whole nother level. If you like a nice girl, just ask twice, girl. I could win a gold medal. I could be rough and have you suffer just for my own pleasure. I'm not gonna waste my time. My time is too precious to measure. Say it till they can hear it in the bag, making sure the message doesn't disappear. We don't need fake love to relate us in and out the other ear. I don't make time for nothing but the work and the cheers. I'm making a good life that'll last me.